to you?
No.
Okay. You just wake up and go? He just wakes up and goes? Okay. Try to get it going, man. Get a little morning beer, get a little bit of Thanksgiving action, watch the game. Always fun, always good, always great. Let's get to the headlines real quick. Glad you can help me out with this. The new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
Yeah, they know truck.
Thank you very much. 9-5 Heat take on the 8-6 Cavs tonight at 7:30. Bam Adebayo is questionable with a hip contusion, while Kevin Love is out for personal reasons. Donovan Mitchell also out with a hamstring. Max Strus going to play, but good thing to hear. In a way, like you never want anybody injured, but Donovan Mitchell not playing. Hopefully it's not a serious injury, but it always helps your odds when Spida is not playing. Kevin Love, though, going to be missing, playing up in Cleveland again. It should be interesting nonetheless. Stanley Cup Eastern Conference Round 1 rematch tonight as the Panthers host the Bruins at 7. Boston leads the NHL in points with 29. Boston once again having a stellar regular season, at least early in this regular season, but we know that means absolutely nothing because we know what happened last year in the first round of the Eastern Conference Finals. In the Eastern Conference Playoffs. We took care of that business in Game 7, and we were a minute away from possibly losing, but we tied it up and won, and that's all that really matters. The Dolphins, who debuted on HBO's Hard Knocks last night, placed Salvon Ahmed on the IR yesterday. Now, the Raiders, Max Crosby, he did tell Mike McDaniel following Sunday's game that Miami was the toughest team he has faced all year. The Dolphins take on the Jets Friday at 3. Vlad, did you see any of HBO's Hard Knocks last night?
No.
I don't know if a lot of people did. I think it's a lot of people's watching tonight or over the next couple of days when they have off. They probably, it's on Max, so you can go back and stream it whenever you want. I was working, doing stuff. By the time I got home, it was already way past 9 o'clock. So I'm going to try to watch. I heard it was good. You got cornrows from Tua Tagovailoa. Of course, you got the Tyreek Hill, Mike McDaniel show. There were some other assistant coaches that kind of showed out. Going to be pretty interesting. I always like Hard Knocks. The production value on it, whether you're a football fan or not, always very interesting, especially with the local flavor that is, should be cool. Speaking of flavor, Tyler Van Dyke remains non-committal about his future with Miami. He will not comment on if he will play in the bowl game or if he will leave the team at the end of the season. He says he just wants to focus on what's happening right now that makes him a better player. The Canes take on Boston College. That is going to be Black Friday at noon. The pregame with Dana Rabinowitz, who you just heard, that's going to start at 8 a.m. So pretty much you get a big Black Friday. Starts with the Canes. Pregame, 8 o'clock, kickoff, noon, Boston College. Woo! Xavier Restrepo has been named ACC Offensive Receiver of the Week following his 8 receptions, 193 yards, and 1 touchdown against Louisville. The Marlins will begin spring training against the Cardinals. That is going to be on February 26th, opening day, March 28th, against the Pirates at Lone Depot Park. South America Soccer Federation CONMEBOL has announced that its 2024 finals will be held at Hard Rock Stadium. And speaking of South American football, Lionel Messi pulled his groin last night in Argentina's World Cup qualifier against Brazil. Argentina did defeat Brazil 1-0. I think it was a historic win because it is the first time Brazil has lost a World Cup qualifier on home turf. So Lionel Messi just keeps piling up the awards. Hopefully he can pile up the awards for Inter Miami next season. They said that they are not satisfied with the lineup they have, and they're going to continue to grow the lineup. And Suarez, there was talk that he could be coming to Inter Miami. Now there's talk that he may stay in Brazil. We really don't know what the lineup is going to look like other than Lionel Messi is going to be in that lineup. And did you hear yesterday, Vlad, there was all the rumors that Al Nassr of the Saudi League with Cristiano Ronaldo, they were going to play some type of friendly or exhibition against Inter Miami. Inter Miami has said that that is not finalized. That is not a done deal. Is that something you'd like to see?
No.
All right. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and Washington round out the top 4 in college football. Michigan and Ohio State, of course, they play each other Saturday at noon. FAU takes on Rice Saturday at 1, while FAU and Western Kentucky do battle at 3. There is no college football tonight. No college football tonight. You just get the Heat and the Cavaliers. Enjoy that game. Following a championship win over K-State at the Bahamar basketball tournament in the Bahamas, the 10th-ranked Canes men's basketball team take off this week and will face Kentucky on Tuesday in the ACC SEC Challenge. Big game last night. Marquette, number 4 in the nation, defeated Kansas. That was a 14-point win. Some sparks flew at the end of the game. It's early in the season. It's a good matchup. Nonetheless, we got a long way to go till March. This Canes basketball team looks really good so far. 10th in the nation. FAU started out 10th in the nation. They did drop a game, but once again, it's a long season and it's all about the tournament, baby. So we are going to find out how these teams go as the season goes on. As this show goes on, we're going to get into everything that's not just Thanksgiving and not just sports, but just the whole world in general. We do have a big matchup on Friday, the very first ever Black Friday NFL game. You get Dolphins versus Jets. Vlad is a diehard Jets fan, but he lives here in South Florida, so he's got love for both teams. He follows both teams very closely. What can we
I have no
expect?
love. Why are you putting words in my mouth?
You don't love the Dolphins?
Don't have to play with me, man. Not in the mood.
All right, so we got Dolphins, Jets. We're going to talk about our expectations and what we do think might happen between those two teams. That's going to be happening Friday, 3 o'clock, and you're going to be able to hear the pregame starting at 11 a.m. Black Friday. We'll have the postgame. We'll have everything for you right here on 560 WQAM.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Saga
Thanksgiving Eve 560 WQAM. Dan Day, Vladimir Lewisson filling in for Tobin and Leroy. Vlad, a lifelong New York Jets fan, and he's not just one of those guys that says, "Oh, I like the Jets because I like the Jets." He is a New Yorker, so he's got reason to cheer for them this coming weekend. I don't know if there's going to be a lot to cheer for. Once again, not taking shots, just saying you got Tim Boyle as the quarterback. This Dolphins defense looked really good against the Raiders last week. We know the Jets defense is very good. I do expect, even though you have Tim Boyle as the quarterback, I do expect the Jets to play probably the hardest they played all season, at least since week 1 when Aaron Rodgers went out.
No.
Are they laying down and dying like they did against the Bills?
No, but this is not going to be the hardest, like the toughest game they're going to play.
No, I'm talking about they're going to play their hearts out more than ever before.
I mean, they should be playing their hearts out. They had to play their hearts out every time against when they were on national TV in the Kelsey Bowl or the Taylor Swift Bowl. They played well. Nah, it's just another game, bro. Just another game. Just another game to try to see if they can get their act together.
Do you have any confidence in Tim Boyle?
No.
I just wouldn't, Vlad. I have a lot of I do think this is the way I see this thing playing out, and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong. I do see it being kind of a nip and tuck close game. You are division rivals. You are actually big time rivals. It's not just in the division, but probably the biggest rivalry the Dolphins have is the Jets. And I would say the biggest rival the Jets have is the Dolphins. So it's a natural rivalry. I do think that the Jets defense is good. It is Black Friday. You do want to show out the Dolphins. They do have that great offense, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be a close game, at least until the beginning of the third quarter. And then I think eventually the talent is going to win out for the Miami Dolphins, and the Jets will slowly just give up the ghost. Do you see it playing out any differently, Vlad? Fandom aside, or maybe fandom inside.
Just don't get just make sure it's not a blowy. That's all I want. I don't want this to be a blowout.
I don't see the Dolphins blowing them out. Maybe
they can blow them out.
I mean, the Dolphins can score. And like I said, even against the Raiders, although they only scored 20 points, they did move the ball effectively, minus the 3 turnovers, minus the turnover on downs inside the 10-yard line, minus the missed field goal from 51 yards. They were moving the ball. They were in scoring position a large majority of the game. So I feel as though they do get some moves. But this Jets defense is really good. This Jets defense is very, very stout, very, very solid. I expect it to continue to do that. It's just, do you get that feeling, Vlad, when the Jets defense gives up a touchdown or 10 points? They're kind of just like, oh, man.
We talked about this yesterday, bro. It sucks when you don't have a margin forever.
You really don't.
You don't. A lot of teams are like that, especially that are 6-4, 6-5, whatever. They usually have, other than Buffalo, but those other teams usually don't have a solid quarterback or solid offensive line play, so they really rely on their defense making the game, keeping the game close, and hopefully in the fourth quarter making a play to earn the victory. But when you don't have no margin for error on offense, it stinks. Like, think about it. Jets are in trouble if the Dolphins score first. If the Dolphins score 7-0, the Jets are in trouble. The Jets are basically, in order for the Jets to stay in this game, they would have to hope Jason Sanders is the Dolphins' most
leading scorer,
prolific weapon. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe hit a couple of field goals, maybe miss a field goal. Who knows? Give you some good field position. But yeah.
We do know the defense is good. Now, this is the one thing. I am not of the school of blaming the coach, Robert Saleh. I just think it's misfortunate what happened at the very beginning of the season. Aaron Rodgers goes down 4 plays in. You didn't have much of a backup, obviously.
No, everybody's to blame.
Huh?
Everybody's
to blame. So are the Jets blaming? Are Jets fans blaming Robert Saleh? Or are they blaming?
Yeah, they're trying to blame him. He gets a year. He'll get another year because obviously Aaron got hurt, but he'll get another year. But he's to blame because him and Joe Douglas, you gotta be prepared for this, right? Like, didn't you guys prepare? Didn't the Dolphins prepare in case something happened to Tua?
Yeah.
Right? Even though we ripped Mike White, there was a lot of ripping Mike White during the preseason and everything like that. Everybody wanted, everybody still has their Skylar love, but they were ripping him. But guess what? I think after you see what you see in the first 11 weeks of the season, I think you'd be all right if Tua had to miss a game. You'll be all right with Mike White as your backup.
Absolutely.
Just a game or two. Some teams have to rely on their backups for the whole year now. Jets, the Vikings. But teams have prevailed. Up until Sunday, Minnesota was the hottest team in the league. They lost Kirk Cousins, but they still were winning. Cleveland, terrible.
I mean,
But
and they
figured out a way to win.
even with Deshaun Watson, they were pretty
They
terrible.
weren't even that right, but at least with Deshaun, you were like you had a formidable a formidable player, a formidable quarterback. But no, but they still continue to win. So you still got to continue to win. I think the other problem is that as competitive as the AFC is, it's not the juggernaut that everybody assumed it was going to be. It's still the toughest conference, and everybody almost seems to be in it except for New England, or Tennessee. But
Tennessee's
bad. It's competitive, but it's not dominant. And I think right now you're looking at your team, you're like, if I can stay away from an injury, if Teron Armstead can stay healthy and that line shores up and gets better, because one thing I got to give the Dolphins credit, their offensive line has been, I mean, obviously in the games they've lost, obviously they've gone against some great defensive lines, but their line has held up pretty well so far for the season. So knock on wood on that. But if you have an offensive line that can stay healthy, stay together, you have a great chance of going far in the playoffs.
And you look at the Dolphins, if they stay consistent in what they've done, which is beat up on teams with losing records, simply that, you got a 3-game winning streak ahead of you. You can beat the Jets, you can beat the Commanders, you can beat the Titans, and then you get the Jets again. So actually, theoretically, a 4-game win streak, easier said than done, of course. We've seen every team except the Dolphins basically slip up against losing teams this year. And then you get into that gauntlet, the last 3 games. The Dallas Cowboys on Christmas Eve, national game, 4:25 kickoff. That is going to be at Hard Rock Stadium. That's going to be the first team with a winning record the Dolphins will get at home this season. It's the third to last game of the season. Then, of course, you go up to Baltimore. That is New Year's Eve. Not an easy game. Then you get the Bills, the final game of the year on January 7th. I mean, you win those 4 games against teams that are very winnable. And even if you win one of those last 3 games, you're sitting pretty. You're sitting very pretty, I would say, overall. Looks like you could probably get the Cowboys, Ravens. You never, and this is the thing. We don't know what these teams are going to look like in 4 weeks from now. We don't even know what these teams are going to look like in a week from now. We don't know what the Dolphins are going to look like. We have to wait and see. But man, would that be a success right there, Vlad? If they win the 4 games, and I know you hate to see the 2 losses against the Jets, the 2 wins against the Jets, the Commanders, the Titans, and then you win one of those last 3. Would you be satisfied as a fan base if you were a Dolphins fan?
I don't know. I'm not a Dolphin fan.
All right. I think
if you listen,
I'd be begrudgingly happy.
I think.
I don't know. That's pretty good.
Dolphin, unbelievably, you know what's crazy, bro? I just thought about this right now. Dolphins still, after the loss to KC, because KC lost to Philadelphia, and you got to figure they still got some tough games still remaining. You got to go in. Well, that Cincinnati game is not that tough for KC without Burrow. They still got to face the Bills. And whatever, the AFC West is kind of crazy. But the Finns still have a chance to get home field advantage.
Absolutely.
If they beat Baltimore later on this year, that could be the battle for number 1 seed in the AFC.
As it stands right now, Baltimore is the top seed, and they're a game up. And if you beat them head-to-head and you end up being tied, you would win top seed in the AFC. Wow. You wouldn't have to go to Baltimore. You wouldn't have to possibly go to Buffalo. You wouldn't have to go to Kansas City. They would all have to come here, and you get that bye.
But we always said, man, what we said yesterday, I don't think teams are afraid to come to Miami.
Right. But I mean, I would, and I don't let me speak for Dolphin Nation. I am a little afraid to go to Kansas City or Baltimore in the depth of the winter that might be the middle of January, just because of the weather and the crowd. At least when you get the home field, the heat might not be as much of a factor, but you do have your routine, you have your home crowd, you have your familiarity. I like that. But if you ask me as a Dolphins fan, you win the 4 games against teams with losing records ahead of you, the Jets, the Commanders, the Titans, the Jets, and you win 1 of the 3 against the Cowboys, the Ravens, and the Bills. Are you satisfied? I'm not overwhelmingly like, yeah, but you know what? Okay, I'll take it. That's one of those things. I'll take it. Now, I know a true Dolphins fan is like, I want to win them all. Okay. Then the other question is, okay, so you win 2 of the 3 against the Cowboys, the Ravens, and the Bills, but you drop 1 to one of these teams with a losing record. you feel kind of equally like, oh, man, I don't know. I guess if you're a Dolphins fan, just win them all. What's the old saying, Vlad? Win them all, let God sort them out. Well,
Is that the saying? I don't know about that.
I don't want to say the real saying, simply because, there could be people listening and people could get all crazy and stuff like that. But the Jets, to me, are a hot mess. They got beat really bad by a Bills team that wasn't really playing all that great. Now you got Tim Boyle as the starting quarterback. We've gone through some of his resume, and it's the Commanders. They looked okay. I thought Eric Bieniemy had them going in the right direction. They kind of seem to be digressing a little bit. The Titans, I do like the Titans. They've come to a conclusion that the Dolphins came to a conclusion. Ryan Tannehill is going to end up being your best quote unquote quarterback on the team, but no more of this. Will Levis, you're our guy. We're not starting Ryan Tannehill anymore. The ceiling is too low with Ryan Tannehill. We'll just take our lumps with Will Levis. The Titans have come to that's a Monday night game. Does that excite you, Vlad? Are you going to go out to that one?
No.
Okay. Are you going to go out to any Dolphins games? What about when the Jets are in town?
I mean, if they give me tickets, everybody here is being very, very cheap with tickets out here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's always for the client, and it's for your families. That's what it is. Don't lie. It ain't no for the client's your family. That's what it is. We were told, when we get this, you might not be paid very well, but if you get tickets, you'll get tickets for any sporting event.
I did do this the other day. I asked about a concert, and they were like, "Nope, sorry, no, I can't. No, we don't do that." And I was asking them like, "Hey guys, I appreciate you looking out for me, and at least letting me know." And someone walked by, maybe of a higher rank than I, and said, "Oh wait, who's playing?" I told them. They go, "Ooh." I go, "Don't even ask. They already said no." And you could tell the look on their face, like, we now can't give the tickets to who we want to because Dan kind of shut us down with the tickets. I said, no, don't ask. Don't ask. They already told me no. They said there's no way. And the person that was quote unquote higher up kind of looked like, really? And then the people that hold the tickets were kind of like, sorry.
So sorry, what? They can't give the tickets away, or sorry they're lying because they're holding the tickets for themselves?
No. They can't give them to someone else because I'm going to keep an eye like a hawk. And they know now I'm going to the concert. So if I see someone that's from the radio station there, I will have known that they lied to me. So they're kind of going to have to eat the tickets, because when I see the person that is from the radio station that's there, I know they didn't pay and I know I did pay. And it's like,
Good ticket blocking, Dan. That's right. No, you damn right.
That was blocking. That was blocking. I've had to send emails be like, Vlad needs tickets to stuff. I mean,
you saw what's happened before.
I don't think it pulled a lot of weight around here.
You see what's happened before for just simple things. I couldn't even get the tickets for come on, man.
You couldn't get like Def Leppard.
I could get Nas and Wu-Tang tickets.
That was tough, man. That was tough.
Oh, you know what? I got to talk. I got to hit up Leroy.
Leroy's got it in.
Leroy's got it in. I got to hit Leroy. Dave Chappelle's coming next month.
Ooh, he's coming December 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. I think 5 days.
He's doing 5?
Or maybe 4. I know it's the day after Christmas, and then it's just a string. I thought it went all the way to the 30th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th.
Might as well do it to New Year's.
Dave Chappelle's making that money.
Have you ever been to a Chappelle show?
No.
It's great. It's not even not even a comedy. It's not even a comedy show. It's just him in the middle, in the center of the stage.
I do want to say this. Yeah, I thought about you first thing this morning, Vlad, for obvious reasons, like I usually do.
Hey, yo.
But yesterday, Leroy made a joke, and it was a recycled joke. I can't remember if it was Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock back in the early 2000s. I'm going to tell you something. The best rapper these days is white, and the best golfer is black.
Probably Chris Rock.
It was probably Chris Rock. You gave him a point to Leroy. And I didn't want to say it on the air, like, that's a very much.
I know it's just. Okay. I know it was a joke. It was a Chris Rock joke.
It's a Chris Rock joke. Okay, yeah, I didn't know if it was Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he said it. He said it. He said there was somebody said there was a time in the 1990s or early 2000s. Yeah, best rapper was white and the best golfer was black.
Greatest rapper of all time,
Biggie.
With that being said, we're going to come back and talk about Max Strus. Does he ball out tonight? Or do the Heat just keep their winning ways going? We'll discuss here on Tobin and Leroy, 560 WQAM.
Thanksgiving Eve and the Heat are in Cleveland to battle the Cavs. Our coverage starts with preheat at 6:15, tip-off at 7:30.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Butler of your Miami Heat. Listen to all our games right here on AM 560 Sports WQAM, FM 99.9, HD2, and always live on the Odyssey app.
Thanksgiving Eve, and we've got action. The Heat are in Cleveland tonight for a game with the Cavs. Listen to it here, beginning with preheat at 6:15. The Panthers face off against the Bruins at home tonight. Listen to that game on our sister station, AM 790 at 7 p.m. Canes and Dolphins continue prepping for their Friday games. We start our Canes game day coverage 8 a.m. Friday morning. Dolphins coverage starts at 11 a.m. on 790. And tomorrow, we've got an NFL triple header for you beginning at noon. Almost Thanksgiving, Wednesday, November 22nd on AM 560 Sports WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Download it today to listen to us live or on demand.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the
Must watch, must listen to Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm heading out to 26 Degree Brewing in Pompano Beach tonight, getting my trivia action going, maybe hitting some of those Zico's Rage Stouts. When I get home, though, get ready for Thanksgiving. There's going to be some much listening, must watch. We're going to get to the Heat and the Cavs. The Cavs a lot better than some people want to give them credit for. Max Strus actually a lot better than most people give him credit for.
Big win last night for them in
I know,
Philadelphia.
76ers. Max Strus dropping a 20 on those guys. But a lot of people tonight, probably like me and maybe like you, Vlad. I don't know if you've watched or finished watching this Hard Knocks that came on last night for the Dolphins game, episode 1.
Just finished watching it during the break.
Okay, so now we got a little bit of footage. I'm going to watch it tonight. I think a lot of people in South Florida are going to watch it tonight because, they might have been busy. They might have been doing some things, but now they're sitting down.
I'm shocked why they
they're
didn't watch it
relaxing.
last night. I mean, first of all, it was an hour earlier than the usual Hard Knocks.
It's a work day. People don't like the commercial. Oh, well, there's no commercials on HBO.
There's
true.
no commercials, and we're in Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving week. Nobody's in school.
That is true. People have been wilding out this week, man. I expect more tonight. But yeah, so people like me that might, and you who might be working, maybe missed it like I did. I didn't get home.
I didn't watch it because I didn't finish it, but I did watch it.
Okay, so
I just finished it.
What are your takes away from what are your takeaways from episode 1, Hard Knocks Dolphins in season?
Tyreek's gonna be the star.
Of course, he always is.
Of this. Tyreek and his family.
Not Mike McDaniel, though. A lot of
Mike
people
McDaniel will be a star, but it's gonna listen, man. It's gonna be I can see a love and hate with Mike McDaniel. I think some people will love his style and the way he
is frustrating.
But the way he talked to his players and gives them so much positivity. But there's gonna be a lot of hatred, like the way Stephen A. I used to say, because of the way, like, just answer the damn question, bro. Why do I need I don't need 3,000-mile trip just for a simple point A to point B answer, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he does that. Like, they asked him, what's the meaning behind the cake? And it took like a 55-second answer just to say, yeah, somebody did it one time. One of the coaches did it one time. Players seemed to like it, so we kept on doing with it. No, it was a 55-second soliloquy on a cake. Yeah. One of the coaches brought the cakes, and yeah, it's really nothing, but it's something. Man, just get to the answer.
Yeah, we told you yesterday the editors are going to hate Mike McDaniel because video editing and audio editing for his answers for TV.
God.
Woo!
But the positivity, I like his. You already knew about the relationship between him and Tua. But if if you're not down here, you're not associated with the team or follow the team very well, it's a great look on how their relationship is. He's always giving positive reinforcements to Tua, and you could tell like how Tua responds to that and how they are able to communicate. And I think sometimes he understands Mike McDaniel, and Mike McDaniel understands him. So that's something great to see. Just the relationship between the head coach and the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Tua's got a little personality.
Yeah.
I think everybody's gonna love Tua. I don't think he never gave you a reason to hate. And I think you're just gonna look at him, you're gonna see that there's no reason to like any hatred or any saltiness to Tua is on you, man. That's not on that. That guy hasn't done anything to anyone. They did a little good job of showcasing Max Crosby, because they knew that he was going to be the centerpiece of that Raiders defense. And I give Mike McDaniel a good job. And what's the guy? The guy from Seattle. Is it Darren Bevel? Is that the passing game coordinator? I think that's the name. Darren Bevel. He did a good job of getting Tua ready, because Crosby is a great player, but he does things to kind of, annoy you, get you out of your rhythm, maybe like bump you after the play is over and stuff like that. So seeing how the Dolphins got ready for that and how Tua was prepared for that, that was good. Jalen Ramsey's the man. And
alien.
He's an alien. And what else?
I do like that you bring up the Mike McDaniel Tua Tagovailoa.
No, that was good. I like that.
I'll tell you this: Tua Tagovailoa, let's be honest, he needed positive reinforcement.
Absolutely.
But let's just not take it to Tua. Like most quarterbacks do. We sit there and say, oh, some guys, man, they don't need that. Most do. Look, and Jim Harbaugh is the king of being the hard-nosed, tough guy, but he's really sweet on his quarterbacks. Remember Alex Smith?
Who?
When he was with San Francisco.
That was Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh was loving them.
That's what I'm saying. Jim Harbaugh is a tough, nasty, mean guy, but when it comes to quarterbacks, he's awful sweet on them, and he's shown that his positive reinforcement on a quarterback, especially when the game is played right here, very important. And it's good to see
Tyreek's mother is also going to be a star.
I met her. I got a picture with her.
Tyreek's mother is going to be a star in this.
Oh, his mama. His mama. Yeah.
And
she does her thing.
Tyreek's wife and mother was watching the game.
His wife now, remember, did they show a little bit of the ceremony or whatever went on the bye week with the marriage? Because it is his old lady now. It's official.
All right. So like I said, I missed the first 10 minutes of the show, and I missed the last 10 minutes of the show. So I just finished watching the last 10 minutes now. When I did start watching, it was Tyreek and his wife sitting down. It looks like they might have been talking about the wedding. I'm not too sure, so somebody can correct me on that.
Isn't that the most Tyreek Hill thing ever? Like, he's with his old lady. They have kids. They've been together forever. Hard Knocks shows up.
I felt bad.
Hard Knocks shows up week 1, married.
I feel bad for his old lady and his mom. Some gentleman
week 1.
Some gentleman who was standing up had a nachos, and his wife, who was celebrating a play, stretch her arms up, and while stretching her arms up, she arguing the nachos, and the nachos fell on her.
Oh, yeah, that's tough right there.
The nachos fell on her and his mom. They weren't very happy about it, but they knew it wasn't the guy's fault.
Right, it happened.
But I ain't gonna lie to you, that guy I felt so bad. I felt so bad for that guy. He was an intangible, so he looked like, oh no.
I've had this. There's nothing worse.
What do you do?
Quarter 1 of a football game or whatnot, someone spills heaven forbid, a rum and Coke or a Sprite and Coke on you. You're wet, you reek of booze, and you have a whole game.
I give her credit, though. I give her credit. Shout out to Mrs. Tyreek Hill, because she didn't go crazy. I know sisters that would have made a scene.
Oh, you go post that on social media.
No, they would have made a scene, made that gentleman pay for a whole new design.
You know she ain't wearing nothing cheap to this.
No, she's not. And you don't want a mustard stain or nacho stain.
I don't want any stains
on your clothing.
Man.
But it was good.
Now, I do want to ask you this. They said that, Tua Tagovailoa got the cornrows. Did they?
They talked to Drake. It was Drake. There was a lot of Drake references, even Marcus Peters.
Did it seem a little put on, or did it seem natural?
No.
I mean, it's weird that
that
Hard Knocks shows up and all of a sudden Tyreek Hill's married. Tua Tagovailoa has cornrows, which he's never had in his life.
They asked Tua, why did he braid, get his hair braided or cornrowed, and he said his hair was long, and he asked some of the teammates if they knew anyone who can, braid hair, and they did. They mentioned a nice female hairstylist, and she did it, because he said he was either gonna
cut it all off.
Yeah, he was either gonna cut it all off or get it braided.
Like, you and I have worked in TV, and we know, man, that things happen.
No, listen, man.
A lot happened in a very coincidental period of time. Tyreek, Tyreek's Tyreek.
No, Tyreek is doing. Listen, Tyreek was going to be the center.
But he gets married right when Hard Knocks shows up. I mean, that sounds terrible. I know.
Well, what do you want? Do you want Tyreek to be married, or you want to be Tyreek? Want Tyreek outside? Hey, Tyreek Hill on his off days here at Club Cheetah or Club Tootsie.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
that would be Vlad. I would think about that.
Well, that's what I've always.
Cheetah at Cheetah, Hollandale Beach.
Hey,
Tyreek.
Hey, Cheetah.
You should have gone the opposite
Dan
direction.
Day and Vlad Lewis ain't telling you. Why aren't you doing a sponsorship with Tyreek Hill, Cheetah at Cheetah?
We will be the middleman.
Cheetah. Hey, QAM salespeople, why haven't we done this?
Cheetah,
this is as obvious as anything in life. The Cheetah at Cheetah, an hour show, maybe Hawk and Crowder.
No. Why do you say Hawk and Crowder?
Oh, Vlad and Dan?
Sports Day, Vlad and Dan out there with the Cheetah, an hour. We have Game Day Uncensored already here, but I can think of a couple names we could use.
Come on, that should be it. They should, I want to hear the voice of God I want to hear Leaf Schreiber go, when this cheetah's on his off day, he goes to the cheetah. And then you just see Tyree going to the cheetah in Hollandale.
Come to the cheetah to hang out with Cheetah.
That'd be great.
Whether you're a cheetah
You have
or
Cheetah,
not,
you have
run with the
Tyreek,
cheetah.
you have Jalen Waddle, you have Braxton. Like
You can
the
run with
cheetah
the
brings all his
cheetahs.
receivers.
Eric Izukuma's
To
in
the
the mix,
cheetah.
man. Oh yeah, you know you could get
Because they did
coaches
that
and
yesterday.
players.
They showed the offensive linemen. I guess every week there's a spot that they go to go eat.
Mhm.
I forgot the name of the spot yesterday. I don't know if it was Kumados or something like that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I want to give you love, but watch the Hard Knocks Dolphins in season with the Dolphins, and you'll see that there is a restaurant that they went to, and they were cool. It seemed cool. It was good. You could tell it was very recent because there was a lot of rain. So it was during the week of the rain, all the rains in South Florida.
That's what's great about the in-season Hard Knocks. It's almost like in real time.
Yeah,
like,
it's absolutely in
basically
real time.
The game ends, and the next day, boom,
No,
you're
I mean,
watching
dude, they literally finished editing. Maybe you could say
an hour before the
Sunday
show.
night. Maybe like Sunday night was right after the game was like the last things that they filmed.
The deadline is right before showtime. That's one thing that I
deadline
watched
had to
last
be
year
Tuesday.
with the Cardinals. I was like, whoa, I saw this yesterday live.
Right.
So exciting.
So that's
times.
why next week's one's going to be very interesting to show how the teams deal with playing on Black Friday. Do they have a Thanksgiving dinner
shortened
with
week?
Do they have a Thanksgiving dinner with their families before they fly out on Thursday? Do they have a Thanksgiving dinner with their teammates on Thursday in New York?
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting thing. I think it's got a lot of juice. You got good personalities on this team. Not surprising that they're going to gravitate towards Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa, and Mike McDaniel. A lot of people thought it was going to be the Mike McDaniel show.
It was part of the Mike. They did. You could tell
who's gonna show up. Cheetah.
You could tell Cheetah, Tua, and Mike McDaniel are the guys that they want to focus on. Jalen Ramsey looked like he didn't want to do anything with the cameras or anything like that. He's just going to do his thing. Of course, Christian Wilkins is going to be. I'm waiting for the Christian Wilkins episode.
That's interesting. So the next game that's going to be at home, we've got. Is it the Washington?
No, you
Commanders?
play Washington in Washington.
So you get it's a Monday night game. So I might not be there. It's a school night against the Titans.
Yeah, your next home game is Thursday. It's the Monday night game against Tennessee.
So December 17th, when they play the Jets, it's going to be interesting to see in the locker room afterwards what extra camera footage and everything else that's going to be in there. At least because Monday nights are kind of crazy and stuff like that. But yeah, so far the reviews are good. Good. It's early. We'll have to wait and see. Did they show Max Crosby telling Mike McDaniel, "You're the toughest team we played so far this season"?
Yes. And Mike McDaniel saying, "Bro, you're the best defensive player that we've faced."
He is nasty though.
He was relentless. Mike McDaniel, you gotta. This is what I love. He's the nerd with a heart. He's fearless. He had the audacity to say, "I'm gonna go look at Max Crosby in the eyes." I don't think he wants to watch either. He doesn't want to look at me. I'm like, don't you know Max Crosby's leg is bigger than your whole body? He's not afraid to look at you in the eyes.
He ain't no joke.
He's a character, but it's cool.
All right. Well, now we've thrown it out there. Cheetah at the cheetah.
Cheetah at the cheetah. I don't understand how nobody did this, man.
At some point in this Hard Knocks season, it's got to happen. Well, I mean, pardon the pun, Hard Knocks season, it's going to have to happen, right?
Yeah. Hard Knocks. At the cheetah.
We're going to come back, get you caught up with everything happening in the sports world here on 560 WQAM.
3.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour 2 of the program. Tobin, Leroy, J-Fig, Marcos, all out. Instead,
You saw them yesterday, though.
did I see them yesterday? Yeah, everybody was on yesterday at one point. But no, don't worry about that. If it's a weekend or if it's a holiday, you got the two cousins representing, making it happen. My cousin Vladimir Lewis. I am Dan Day. We'll have our time, Vlad. We'll have our time.
Monday.
I gotta take you out to Duffy's Implantation one of these days, man. They've been asking axing about you, as we
I gotta
say.
go. Yeah, man. I have to be out there. When are you going? Oh, you going there tonight?
I'm not going there tomorrow because it is Thanksgiving. They will be open Thanksgiving, so go by, stop
Really?
by. Yeah, go see Justin, Sabrina. They open at noon. They stay open until 11. I said, man, look, you want me to come out here and spin some tunes and get crazy? They said, but Thursday night's usually out there. You and I are going on like a Saturday, man. We're not playing around. We're going to get that 2-for-1. Got to holler at Justin and Sabrina. Say, yo, keep them coming. Get it going like that. Duffy's Implantation. Actually, they're jumping on board here at 560 WQAM very soon, too.
Nice. Did you make that happen?
Man, we're wheelers and dealers.
Oh, they look out for you, bro.
We look out for them. They look out for us.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people here look out for you.
Oh, that's how bad it is. My mind didn't even go to that, Vlad. But, man, it is a Thanksgiving Eve tonight. You get Cleveland and the Heat.
Stews.
I know. Stews had 20 the other night in a Cavaliers win over the 76ers. I told you, as a Heat fan, I ain't worried about the 76ers. Remember we were talking about the standings yesterday? Like, oh, man, the standings, it's Celtics, Bucks, 76ers, and Heat. I said, if you're a Heat fan, 76ers, bring it on in the playoffs. Bring it on. Now, Celtics, okay, we'll take care of you. Bucks, I right now don't want that smoke. I'm not going to lie, Vlad. Bucks, I do not want that smoke, at least not in the early rounds of the playoffs.
Well, you get to see them Tuesday night.
I know.
At the Kaseya Center.
At the Kaseya
Kaseya
Center. 76ers, though, do not totally scare me. They are 10-4. That's okay. They did get beat by the Cleveland Cavaliers last night, an 8-6 Cleveland Cavaliers. It's still early in the season, I understand that. But so far, Max Strus has been good, and you got to feel as though he wants to ball out tonight. Not that he left on bad terms, but anytime you play your former team, you want to go out there, show up a little bit, because maybe there were some guys on the radio, maybe some guys that do weekends, maybe on a show called Sports Day that said, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, we love you, but at the same time, what are you going to go do? You're going to be, are you going to be that great, Gabe Vincent?
Gabe Vincent's pulling the Kendrick Nunn, robbing the Los Angeles Lakers of money.
You and I were pretty confident about that one. Less confident about Max Strus going there and just being an organizational player, but at the same time, we didn't think he would be a world beater. He has been a highlight film over there for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, no Donovan Mitchell tonight. Does that make you breathe a little bit easier if you are one of the members of the Heat?
No, because there was no Donovan Mitchell last night, and they really dominated.
The NBA is so crazy. Have you noticed that?
There's no defense being played.
I mean, any given night, a team can win. I've watched games where the Heat have taken on, let's say, like the Raptors, and like even the Raptors' no-name starters aren't playing, and the Raptors go in and win. It's like, what's going on? So any given night,
Dude,
you never know.
Did you see the score of the Atlanta-Indiana game?
Okay, so yesterday,
I watched that stupidness because I had money on it.
You had to know it was going to be good.
I should have taken the over. The
Vegas,
over was 250.
Vegas said it was the highest over since like the 90s in a basketball game.
The total was like 258 going into the game.
Blew that out of the water, by the way. Blew it out of the water.
I took the Hawks -3.5. I'm looking great. Then the third quarter happens. I'm like, uh-oh.
Man.
Yikes. And then, yeah.
Was it a fun game to watch?
Great game to watch if you like offense.
Of course. Who doesn't like offense?
309 points scored.
Dude, honestly, who in this day and age gets stoked up about an NBA game that's like 89-87? I love defense just as much as anybody, but look, if I got a chance to watch 157 versus 153 or 89 versus 87,
I'm taking 89-87, bro.
against and it's two teams that you don't follow.
Yeah, I just because I know that they're competing, man. Dude, everybody was shooting 3-pointers with no hands on their face. It was like
it's practice.
It was practice.
Goodness gracious. Did you catch any of the Marquette Kansas game? 4 versus 1.
I did. Shaka
Late
Smart
night.
and Bill Self almost got into it right at half.
Go at it, man.
Shaka Smart's very angry for some reason. No, he's been like this throughout the whole year.
Basketball, let's be honest. Basketball's gotten soft. Remember there was a time and day and age when there used to be fights. Larry Bird used to throw Charles Barkley. Remember Bill Walton back in that 1977? I don't, when I say remember, but I mean, remember there was a time when it was nasty. Nowadays, you struggle to see people throw punches. I'd like to see a little more action. A little less talk and a lot more action. Why not? I don't mind a little talk, a little getting into it. Maybe tonight. Maybe nothing like, what was it? Jalen Rose was talking about getting thrown out of an NBA game on Christmas Day in front of his whole family for fighting. You know, that happens. But tonight should be a good game. I'm going to be interested to see what Max Strus does. Are they going to try to make a concerted effort to get him the ball, let him try to show out, see if he has the hot hand early on? I would think that's what the Cavaliers do. He has been one of their best players thus far on the season. Last night, of course, Jarrett Allen led the team with 26 points and 13 rebounds. I'm sorry, Darius Garland. Didn't see that coming. 32 points. It was an overtime game, but nonetheless, 20 points for Max Strus. I mean, you had to kind of see Max Strus, one of those guys. He's a very long, tall guard that they play him at, and he can shoot the ball. So Max Strus playing well with Cleveland. Hopefully, though, not playing very well tonight. Beating the 76ers. 76ers are now 10-4 with a win tonight. The Miami Heat can move on up and be right there at 10-5, which would still put them a little bit behind the 76ers, but in 4th place overall. You know who's in 5th place right now, Vlad? In the East? You wouldn't believe it. Although I guess maybe you can kind of, for certain reasons, believe it.
Wait a minute.
In 5th
My Knicks
place,
are in 6.
Yeah, your Knicks are in 7th right now, theoretically.
Oh, they just got beat.
They're 8-6. Yeah, they lost.
Are the Pacers?
That's 6th. In 5th place.
5th in the East. Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando.
Yeah.
Paulo Banchero's been playing well, man. Number 1 overall pick.
Had a good game last night. They went to Chicago and beat the Bulls twice.
They've won 4 in a row. That helps.
Yeah, they went to Chicago, beat Chicago twice right before Miami played Chicago twice, which was kind of weird. They played both Florida teams back-to-back games.
Orlando. Does Paulo
Orlando's
Banchero
well.
got it going on? Are things happening over there with Paulo Banchero?
Paulo had a great summer with Team USA, and they finally know their role. They're a long team, and they got that kid from Michigan, Franz Wagner. Franz
Wagner,
and his brother Moet.
So to me, that's a big surprise. That's probably the biggest surprise.
Let's see how long it continues.
Let's see. Well, so far, the biggest surprise in the East. Now in the West, there's plenty of surprises. You know who's in first place in the West right now? A team that I actually like a lot. Not Sacramento, though.
No, it's not. Probably Minnesota.
Yeah. Ant-Man. Exciting team to watch.
Not surprises there.
The Thunder in 3rd place. I was actually watching the Thunder and the Blazers the other night.
Yeah, you don't want to watch the Blazers.
They were down by 36 at halftime, lad.
Like 30. They were down like
36
last night to the Lakers. Yeah, you don't want to watch Portland.
Chet Holmgren was eating their lunch.
OKC's got a good team, man.
No.
A bunch of good young players, especially with SGA.
I like that Chet Holmgren, man.
Chet Holmgren.
You know I like the skinny guys. That came out wrong. Nonetheless, you know what I mean.
No. Hey, oh.
This is my biggest surprise in the West. The Suns at 8-6.
Not a surprise.
Not surprised you. Well, you've had some Bradley Beal, all the injuries.
By the way, okay. Since we are filling in for Tobin and Leroy, let me pull a Tobin.
Oh,
he dodged a bullet. Oh, he dodged one.
No.
Not getting Bradley Beal might have been the best thing that happened to the Miami
You know, we've probably learned a lot from the Kyle Lowry situation.
Dodge the bullet.
We wish the best, and we really want Kyle Lowry to play well, but we might have learned our lesson with that. You know what I mean? It was an expensive lesson, and we're still paying for it. But, you know, getting a guy way past his prime after he's already been kind of established with the team and coming on to another team, you know.
Dude, if you're a Phoenix Suns owner, and you made that trade, and you taking that big-ass contract, and you got a broke back player.
Another surprise, the Warriors 7-8 in 10th place right now in the
Not
West.
shocked by that.
You know what's not shocking? The Clippers. Not shocked, not surprised.
Yeah, but you know what? They're gonna get their act together.
That's one of those teams. They can have the NBA dream team lineup, and I'm still not worried about them in the Western Conference. Like, just not at all. The Pelicans are at 7-7. They have been exactly what you would expect the Pelicans to be. Some games, great. They can beat the Sacramento Kings. They can beat the Nuggets. And then other games, they'll go there and get their, you know what, handed to them by 30 by the Warriors. It's just, nonetheless, this Heat team tonight looking good. Is it sustainable? We'll see. I think this is one of those games for the Heat. It's not a statement game, but it is one of those games you go in there and you go take care of business, win the game, show that you are one of those teams that's for real. You'll win 10 out of 11 games. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's get to the headlines real quick. Get you caught up on everything that's happening in and around the sports world. New Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Thank you. I like that you don't do it with the same enthusiasm as Leroy, because you don't want to be just like Leroy.
No.
But at the same time, they do.
And he has a prop. I don't have a prop.
You don't need props. You're not carrot top in this joint.
Nah, the prop makes it. I mean, having the truck makes it all go, man. Like, you know, we know truck, and then he shows the truck driving away.
Leroy does drive a big multicolored truck. That thing is weird looking. I love it. Bam Adebayo questionable with the hip contusion. Kevin Love out for personal reasons. Donovan Mitchell also out tonight with that hamstring. 7:30 tip. Pregame starts at 6:15 with Alejandro Solana. Tommy Tighe also going to have the pregame. Jason Jackson on the call. Then Tommy Tighe and Alejandro Solana going to be on the postgame. And I would say yours truly, but my cousin, Vladimir Louison, along with Trevor Harris, going to be helping out with the game. So please be sure to tune in as you're getting your Thanksgiving feast ready. Another exciting thing happening tonight. Stanley Cup Eastern Conference Round 1 rematch. Panthers, Bruins, 7 o'clock. Lo and behold, Boston again having a stellar regular season. Vlad, does that mean anything at all? It does.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell
It
you
really
something.
does.
Actually, it actually means something. This
It
is
does.
actually unfortunately, because I'm working the Heat game. But if you ask, gun to the head, I'd rather watch the Panther Bruin game than the Heat Cavs game.
You're a huge Panthers fan, by the way. You and Sergei Bobrovsky are good friends. I don't know
Absolutely.
if I can bring up his name on this show.
No,
but
you can when
okay.
you talk to me. You can't
Okay.
when you're talking to Tobin.
You and him are friends. There's,
Yes,
there's
I'm
photo
not
evidence.
I'm not bad luck to him.
There's photo evidence of you and Sergei, just hanging.
Yes. For the first time I actually looked at the athlete, I'm like, same size. You know what I
They
mean?
look so much bigger when they got all their pads on, man.
I looked at it, dude, it's hysterical. When you see Sergey walk without the pads and the uniform on, you're like, oh wow.
That's the one thing that
You're
amazes
just a regular
me.
man.
That amazes me about professional athletes. And you and I have rubbed elbows with professional athletes. Some of them are larger than life. Like they're mountain of men and women. And then there's other guys you're like, really? You're a professional athlete?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So why do some guys and girls
don't
seem
know.
like they're 1 billion feet tall and just carved out of stone?
I don't know. There's certain athletes.
And then other athletes, literally, it looks like you and me just standing there hanging out.
Like there's certain athletes you see and you could tell through the screen, you're like, oh, that's a big athlete. And then when you see them in person, you're like, oh, wow, you're actually bigger than, and like the TV doesn't do you justice. Like you're actually bigger and stronger than you look. And then there's other athletes who look and then, oh man, on the screen, he look big. Like
Right, they look huge.
6'5", and then when you look at him, like, oh man, you look like Vin Diesel.
It's crazy. And I go to the Dolphins games and I interview some of the guys. Some of the guys are huge. And then other guys, I'm like, wow, man, the pads really do add a lot. Now, I'll say this about Drew Brees. Drew Brees, who is a smaller NFL player, he's around the size you would think, except he is just muscle on top of muscle on top of muscle. And I'm guessing that's for being in the league 20 years. You got to put on that padding. But I mean, some of these guys are huge. Like our friend Rashad Butler, huge. Played for the Canes, played in the NFL for a long time. Absolutely huge. Then I meet like guys like Alan Faneca, Hall of Fame lineman.
Rashad's a big boy.
Rashad's huge. And when I say huge, now Rashad, you know I love you. You're my dude. I'm not saying you're huge, like out of shape. You're huge in shape.
No, not a shape.
You're a mountain of a man.
No, you should have. Nah, man. That's a business decision that does not need to be made.
He is a mountain of a man. He is muscle and size and length. He's huge. And then I go see Alan Faneca, who of course now runs marathons, doesn't play in the NFL. And I'm like, you're in the Hall of Fame as an offensive lineman?
And I always say this. We have had this conversation with Leroy. It's always funny.
Offensive linemen that shed the weight at the end.
The biggest guys in the NFL, when they no longer have to play in the NFL, lose weight and eat healthy, and they're regular human beings. Like, look at Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas doesn't look like that Hall of Fame tackle.
Right.
He doesn't look like that. He looks like a regular, he's still a big guy,
right.
but he just looks like a regular guy.
But
like
they're bulking up when they play. They need the size,
weight.
they need the energy, they need
Except
the
for
strength.
Damian Woody. Damian Woody's still a big guy. I'm just saying, I just seen him on screen TV. He's still a big guy. But they usually do. And then the running backs, who are always in shape, they get the belly. They start getting the beer belly and everything. They just like, ugh.
Like Bo Jackson still looks extremely athletic, just a little heavier and athletic.
Well, you could tell you that he hasn't worked out. But if you look at Marshall Faulk, he had like a gut. You know what I mean? Like, Emmett's looking okay. Barry don't look the same. Like Barry, you could tell. You know what I mean?
I want to see that documentary that's coming out on Barry Sanders. Is there anyone Is there anyone in this world that doesn't like Barry Sanders? It's a good question. Or at least respect him. You got to respect Barry Sanders.
I don't know. I haven't asked anybody in the world, but it would be hard not to respect Barry Sanders. But nonetheless, yes. And speaking of Barry Sanders, tomorrow, Detroit takes on Green Bay.
I told you that's one of my few Thanksgiving traditions, man. And we're going to get into
You like Lions football more so than Cowboys football.
They can be 0 whatever at that point. And trust me, I've watched a lot of bad Lions games. That's the one game I have to watch. Now, I'm usually eating or blackout drunk by the Cowboys and heaven forbid by the 49ers and the Seahawks. But man, the Lions, you get up, maybe you watch a little bit of the parade, you open up a couple of Red Stripes, or now, of course, you and I do the Prestige beer because of the Haitian heritage. Drink a couple of those, get ready for dinner, you watch the Lions. That's what you do, man. That's what I do. I'm all about the Lions. Well, and you get Green Bay. See what Jordan Love has to offer.
Nothing.
I'm just looking for positives here, man. I'm trying to get Thanksgiving going.
Jesus, everybody with the positives.
Dolphins, they do take on the Jets Friday at 3:00. That is the first Black Friday game in NFL history. The NFL continues to march towards playing
every day.
360 out of 365 days of the year.
They're trying to make sure that there's a day of football.
You and I have talked about this. I do think that Tuesday and Wednesday are religious to the NFL.
Well, eventually Tuesday you got to give them a day off. And that's the day that they usually do their interviews or whatever they're sponsoring. So you got to give it to them. You got to give them that day off. And Wednesday is the day that you usually get the playbook and the plan ready for the upcoming game.
Well, they already basically do that. They play Thursday games. They don't play Friday games. Will there ever be?
They're going to play Friday.
They're going to play Fridays.
It's going to happen.
Okay. So that's really all they're going to add to the lineup because they already play Thursday games. Usually they're stinkers, but nonetheless. Friday, they leave that to high school football. I don't know. Then they as soon as they can sneak in on a Saturday, they're in. And eventually they're going to say, we're taking Saturday too. Sunday, of course. Monday.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if you.
Sunday, Monday.
I don't know if you can mess with little brother like that.
On a Saturday? So are they just going to keep it towards till the season?
The networks have already spent so much money into these college football players. Like, they're not. It's going to be hard for them. They would have to give back that money, and there's no way these networks want to give back billions in case just to make the NFL happy. They just got to understand with that.
Wednesday night game with nothing on the TV could possibly make some money.
Hump day football?
I say it disgusts me, but at the same time, I'm watching. So yeah.
Because literally you could
watch that, man. I could watch that. What else are you going to be watching? I mean,
I more think they should have Friday night football more than Thursday night football.
Yeah, I understand that. This is what I also like about the NFL. They take what they want.
They are. They're gonna
You know,
listen.
There was the gentleman's agreement for years
With the NBA about not playing on Christmas. Christmas is your day.
Thanksgiving's ours.
Thanksgiving is ours.
Christmas is yours.
Nah, but if it just so happens that Christmas falls on a weekend,
Oh yeah.
we're gonna play.
But now,
Whatever day that thing falls on, we're playing.
yep. And what you're gonna do is
Except on Tuesday to Thursday.
you're gonna overextend yourself and have 5 games. We're gonna have 1 or 2 and just really kind of pound you down.
They're going to, after looking at the success, even though if Aaron was playing, this would probably been a bigger rated game, a
Black
highly
Friday?
rated game. But depending on the numbers that they do this Friday, there's going to be 2 games on Black Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be a game at 3, and then there'll probably be another game at 7 p.m. or 7:30.
Absolutely.
The NFL doesn't care anymore.
Nope.
They know they're the kings, and they're going to take every opportunity that they can get to showcase their games and make money. They know that men don't want to be at no damn freaking mall shopping with their wives and girlfriends on Black Friday. But you give them an NFL game, baby. There's 2 NFL games today. I'm staying home. I'll watch those little runts. I'll let the kids have those kids catch the itis off the leftovers, Thanksgiving leftovers.
Yeah. How many
Let
guys,
me enjoy my Dolphins and Jets.
How many guys here in South Florida usually, on Black Friday go with their old lady, do some shopping, but at the beginning of every football season, look, I'm here for you, but when the Dolphins play, I'm watching a game. They're out of it this Friday. Like, oh, sorry, can't shop. We made the agreement a long time ago. I'll watch the Dolphins when they play. Have fun shopping.
That's why it's gonna be very interesting.
And
Like,
the
I want to
women-
see.
the
I want to
women
see
are
the
gonna go
bars.
shopping by themselves.
I want to see the bars. I want to see the bars this Friday, because you would think. Listen, folks.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot of Caribbeans, a lot of minorities here. You know that if they do Thanksgiving dinner on a Thursday, they're giving you food to eat for Friday. There's nothing better than Thanksgiving leftovers the day after. Black Friday Thanksgiving food is the best.
The restaurants might not do as good. The bars will do good.
Okay.
Gotta
You
get out
do,
the house.
like I said yesterday.
Gotta get out the house.
If you're buying food for Thanksgiving with a group of people, that means you're buying a crap load of alcohol.
Oh yeah, so you got the extras, the extra.
But are people gonna step out? Because this is a big. You couldn't ask for this more.
You want to get out the house.
You couldn't ask for a better sports Black Friday, especially
It's a lot.
Miami
going on.
versus New York. You got Heat Knicks later on that night. You got Dolphins Jets at 3.
You got the Panthers playing. You got
You got the
everybody playing.
and then you got the Canes playing against BC at noon to kick it off. So this is a big sports. It's big Black Friday sports day for South Florida.
It's going to be fun. Tyler Van Dyke does remain non-committal about anything past the Boston College game that is on Black Friday at noon here on 560, saying that he wants to live in the now. That helps him to be a better player. Who knows if he'll play the bowl game, if you will go to another team and the transfer portal. He has 1 year of eligibility left. We shall wait and see. Up next, we're going to talk some more Dolphins and their degree of difficulty, the games that remain for them. Which ones are going to be easy? Which ones are going to be a breeze? We shall discuss it next here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM.
Thanksgiving Eve, and we've got action. The Heat are in Cleveland tonight for
Still in hour 2 of the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM. My man, Chili Willie, he's been listening. He's been jumping in, giving us a shout-out, says he loves Vlad. I want to look at this real quick. Since it is hour 2 of the program, I want to look at the remaining schedule for the Miami Dolphins. Recently, Sports Illustrated has released the strength of schedule, the degree of difficulty for the Dolphins going forward. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, first things first, the Jets. Friday, 3 o'clock, national game, Black Friday. Where does it rank in the toughest games remaining for the Miami Dolphins? I'll tell you this, Vlad, I'm a little surprised. It's ranked 4th toughest game for the Miami Dolphins. Now, this was before Tim Boyle was announced as a starting quarterback. I don't know if that moves the line or not, but this is what they say. The outlook of this game obviously is much different with Zach Wilson leading the Jets offense, Tim Boyle, instead of Aaron Rodgers. But the Jets defense is really good. Yeah, you know, the quarterbacks haven't had their best games in their NFL career. The Dolphins last October. Adding Black Friday factor to the equation makes it a tricky game. Is this kind of a tricky trap game for the Dolphins? The Jets, you have nothing to lose, it seems like. Tim Boyle, your quarterback. How you going to let Vanilla Ice get you? How you going to let Vanilla Ice? 8 Miles back on Netflix, too, by the way. You know that's my saying for when it's a nobody. How you going to let Vanilla Ice get you?
Damn, why you going to let Vanilla Ice go on? You dissing Vanilla Ice, man?
Rob Van Winkle.
Right, he's a legend down here.
Miami guy. Yeah, I know.
He's a legend.
I mean, legend is legend. But, okay, 4th toughest game. It's I do think the Black Friday national TV.
Hold on.
It does.
The Dolphins don't have, what's the record rank? They're 7-4?
7-3.
7-3? They got 7 games left. And you're going to rank the Jets as the 4th toughest?
4th toughest.
Out of all the games that they have left?
Yeah.
So what's they play the Jets twice.
Yeah, the other one is actually the 5th toughest.
That makes get out.
Based on what we've seen with Rodgers walking around the stadium throwing passes in pregame warmups, is it totally crazy to think he could be back for this game?
Yes.
Yes. The man tore his Achilles. Why are we doing this? I mean, okay. Time out. Jalen Ramsey told us, tell me a date, I'll beat it by a month. He beat it by 7 weeks. So I guess, but still.
Look, this man Aaron is doing something.
Okay, even if Aaron Rodgers was to come back, I don't think he'd be, if this was his first week back, whatever against the Dolphins, week 15, is he going to be effective? Coming off the couch?
Have you seen that offensive line? Do you want to be effective?
Yeah, do you want to be? Look, Aaron, take your time, man. It's in the, okay. So, shocker. The easiest game left, according to Sports Illustrated, on the Dolphins' schedule is going to be December 3rd against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, they're going to eat that game.
The Commanders have been remarkably inconsistent. I will agree with that so far this season, starting with quarterback Sam Howell. But we'd be a lot more worried about this game had Washington not traded its 2 pass rush defender ends, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, at the deadline. Yeah, losing Chase Young and Montez Sweat does hurt you a lot. Maybe that's why Washington has been kind of in the tank lately, because they lost those 2 main men right there on the line. But supposedly this should be, by Sports Illustrated standard, the easiest game for the Dolphins to win. Okay, I'd like to say Tennessee's probably on paper the easiest game to win, because Will Levis and those guys, I've watched in the past 2 weeks, not because I've been excited to tune into the Titans games, but it's been the game that's been on TV while I'm working. Whoo! Well, second easiest game is those Tennessee Titans. It's a Monday night game, December 11th. Ryan Tannehill's return to Miami has been spoiled with the news that the Titans are turning to rookie second-round pick Will Levis at quarterback, but Derrick Henry's presence in the backfield and Jeffrey Simmons in the middle of the defensive line always makes Tennessee potentially problematic. I'm not scared of the Tennessee Titans. Vlad, any fears?
No.
That's what I would think.
Of the Titans? No.
Now let's get to the top 3 toughest games. You already knew it was going to be Dallas, Buffalo, Baltimore, but in what order? Most winnable of those 3, according to Sports Illustrated, you guessed it though, Dallas, Christmas Eve, Dallas national game. They're either going to wow out.
That is the fraud. That is the.
They're going to wow out.
No. This is. I'm not the fraud game.
Is this Dallas trying to prove they're not a fraud? Or
Both,
is this
whoever wins this game is gonna say I'm not a fraud. Because a lot
we
of
can beat good teams.
right, because that's a knock on the Cowboys that they don't beat the quality teams, that they also prey on the weak. They're bullies on the weak. So Dolphins, Cowboys, Christmas Eve. I'm gonna love to see that game because whoever wins can honestly say, well, we finally beat a quality team. It's gonna be a nationally it's gonna be the 425 game.
425, yeah.
So it's gonna be the game that the most of the country is gonna get. Yeah, that's
it's
a good
Dallas. It's Miami. Two, let's be honest, national brands.
Dallas is more so of a national.
Right, right. But I say let's be honest because it's odd. As much as you want your respect, fan base is oftentimes like, no, we're not a national brand. The Dolphins are a national brand. People care about the Dolphins a lot. Dak Prescott plays well. You might be in a little bit of trouble if you're a Dolphins fan. But at the same time, I like the Dolphins at home on Christmas Eve against Dallas. Once again, Dallas kind of tricky. Sometimes they'll play really, really good above their head. And then, of course, if they play above their head, everybody goes crazy. And then sometimes they play just like absolute basura, nonetheless. Second hardest game, going to be those Buffalo Bills. Bills are struggling right now.
Well, I like the fact that if you got tough games, they're all at home.
That's the thing. And everybody knocks, they can't beat a winning team. All those games have been on the road. And I don't want to hear about Germany. It was a neutral site. Nonetheless, it's still a road game.
It's a neutral site.
Tough game. Tough game right there.
I mean, the opponent stuff, but it's a neutral site.
Nonetheless, now you get these teams at home. You got the Cowboys. You get the Bills at home. Bills, I mean, you hate to bury them, even though they've been absolutely terrible as of late. Still, it is a rivalry game. It is probably, if Bills would get their act together, could be for all the marbles in the AFC East. That adds a little bit more pressure. We have had our struggles against the Bills. We know that. Going to be interesting. And of course, the toughest game as of right now, those Baltimore Ravens, December 31st, up in the DMV, week 17. I know Richie's excited about that one. Dolphins of Baltimore was among the most exciting in the entire NFL last season. Of course, the Dolphins won that game, produced one of the greatest comebacks in Miami history. Both teams appear headed to return appearance in the playoffs. The Ravens right now, a lot of people are saying are the best team, not just in the AFC, but maybe, I don't know. The Eagles are pretty darn good. Even better than Kansas City. Their defense has risen to the top of the NFL rankings, while their offense is showing more balance than ever and not relying so much on Lamar Jackson. Yeah, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a fun one. That's New Year's Eve. That's some excitement right there. So that's going to be the toughest, quote unquote, Dolphins game, according to Sports Illustrated. I'll say this. I think they're right. Baltimore, Vlad, correct. Going to be most likely the toughest game for the Dolphins on the remaining schedule. Probably so.
Yeah, you have to say that. Yeah, because you're going on the road. You're going to them. And you're going to them what? New Year's Eve?
Yeah, New Year's Eve. Second hardest. Oh man, is it Buffalo or Dallas?
No, second hardest got to be Dallas.
I mean, the reason I'm worried about Dallas, like I said, they can put it together for one game and look like world beaters, and on national TV, and on Christmas Eve, even though it's in Miami.
And the fact of how prolific your offense is. If Dallas wins, this is going to be the game where the Skip Baylesses of the world. They're going to talk about it regardless because they have to, But if they go in and beat Tua and the Dolphins, they're going to talk very highly of themselves. But if the Dolphins could beat the Cowboys,
the whole nation watching.
There's going to be probably a change in narratives by the national media if they beat that, because that's not only a good team, but you're talking about a good defense here. So you're talking about a top 3 defense against a top 3 offense.
Ain't no joke,
right? But you're talking about Stephon Gilmore and this kid named Bland, he's like second in touchdowns, and he's a defense. He's a cornerback.
Did you see he's
4 pick six?
He's tied the record for most pick six in a season.
Yeah, 4, and he's second on the team with touchdowns.
Wow. Yeah,
tied for second. That's craziness.
You get the top offense in the league against one of the top defenses in the league.
Yeah, let's see. And that's going to be a big test for the offensive line. But I think a lot of this, we're looking ahead, obviously. But it's just you have to handle business. Well, I don't want you to handle business on Friday, but you have to handle business.
Both times.
You just got to take it one day at a time.
Right.
1 week. Right. That's one thing I give
McDaniel?
I got to give Coach McDaniel credit because he echoed this throughout last night's Hard Knock in season episode 1 about how every practice is a step or every game is a step in being a champion, or how this is all a step into your ultimate goal. He was very happy with the way they practice on a Wednesday, which is crazy now because you cover teams, you see it. Wednesday is the first practice of the week. Usually the teams are either up and down, coming back, maybe coming back off the rigors of the game that was just played, and trying to get your momentum back, trying to get your focus back. He was trying to set a tone for them to come in, even if that first practice, come in on Wednesday, come in and set the tone. Be focused, be focused, be focused. And you saw that they were focused for the Raider game. You could they were, at least that's what they were saying to the cameras, at least. But you could tell they were echoing the same sentiments of their coach. And when that happens, that means they believe in you. And that Dolphins team is starting to believe.
Most winnable game on the schedule for you, Vlad, because I think the one I think that's most winnable may be a little surprising to most people, but who do you think is the most winnable game? What is the most winnable game on the Dolphins' remaining schedule? Sports Illustrated says Washington. They also say Tennessee's right up there.
It's got it. I mean, they got 4 winnable games, bro.
I know.
They got Jets twice, they got Tennessee, and they got Washington. But one thing you know in the NFL, it looks good on paper, but
given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Because look at the Cowboys, the team we were just talking about. They lost to Arizona.
Played the hell out of the Eagles the other night. A couple calls go their way.
Lose all the time.
I think the most winnable game is the one coming up right now against the Jets. The Jets are reeling. Tim Boyle starting for the first time. I know the rivalry. I know the defense. I just feel as though, man, you get up on them on those first 2 drives, you can score a touchdown or even get up 10-0.
Well, that's what I love about this, because you guys are going to be the most talked about thing. Because now that Zach got bench and everything like that, this is going to be 90 minutes pregames on Dolphins, 30 on Tua, 30 on Mike McDaniel, probably 30, like 15 on Tyreek, then they'll mention something about the Jets. But this is what it's all. So basically, you got to understand something. Hey guys, what you've always wanted, you're gonna get, because all eyes are on you. Your first week in season episode happened last night.
You're good.
You're playing Black Friday. If you lose, all eyes are gonna be.
You can't let Tim Boyle go out there and hand it
Boyle's
to you.
gonna boil you.
You can't do that.
Boyle is gonna boil you.
Vic Fangio, come on, man. Jalen Ramsey, come on, man. You can't let Tim Boyle get you like that. Little Timmy Boyle, I think that's a winnable game. I think that's the most winnable game simply because of the Tim Boyle factor. Not knocking Tim Boyle, it's his first start. So we'll discuss that. Good and bad, Thanksgiving, it is right around the corner. Vlad and I are going to take a little look at the old Thanksgiving feast and what else is going to be happening on that day next here on Tobin and Leroy 560 WQAM. Got a little quickie right here, Vlad. So I decided let's take a little break from all the Dolphins, all the Hurricanes, all the Heat action. Talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. What a great holiday Thanksgiving is. We'll talk about the best and the worst. I'm usually a positive guy, but there are some things about Thanksgiving that are not so great. So right now, I want you to kind of talk about some of your bests and worsts. I'll tell you the best thing about Thanksgiving. It's got to be the food, right? You get yourself some turkey or some ham. I love some spinach, like casserole, sweet potatoes. It's not Thanksgiving without some sweet potatoes in the action. To me, you can't have Thanksgiving without the food.
Food without Thanksgiving is nothing. It's just a regular day.
No, yeah. I mean, what are you doing? What are we doing here,
man?
man?
It's nothing.
What are we doing here? Now, I will say my most hated thing about Thanksgiving, I mean, yeah, I'm not getting into all that. Green bean casserole is just hot basura. Like, it is nasty. I do not like green bean casserole. If it's at a dinner table, I'm going to skip it. If someone's like, oh, you have to try my green bean casserole. Usually I'm a nice guy. I'll try to avoid that. I am not a green bean casserole guy. So that's my love. That's my hate. So what I love and hate kind of the same thing. The food about Thanksgiving. I hate the feeling afterwards. God, man, it's terrible. And then there's other things I love too. But what are some of the things you love and hate about Thanksgiving?
I love Black Friday.
Why do you love Black Friday?
Because I love the food always is
you
better
like
the day after.
The flavor sets
the
in.
food, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but it seems like the food the day after is better than the actual day, the day of actually Thanksgiving.
There is scientific evidence.
It might be in my head.
No, it's scientific evidence.
It's just in my head. It might be, it's just in my head. But yeah, just to know that you have an inordinate amount of food.
Now, do you like
at your disposal?
When it comes to the turkey, do you like the dark meat or the white meat more?
I like the white meat.
Really?
Yeah.
I always go dark meat. Now, I like both, but I like the dark meat.
Both,
it's more tender.
Yeah, I like the white meat because I like when I'm dipping the salt. You
like the gravy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like myself just the dark meat, man. Thighs, wings,
legs.
You like the breast?
I like legs.
Mm-hmm. The legs are dark meat.
Yeah, but no, I like the breast as well.
Stuffing is awesome too.
Stuffing's the best. Actually, stuffing's my favorite part.
Stuffing is pretty. I mean, you get some dope like cornbread dressing, or Leroy Hord's chiming in on his own show right now, saying that white people's meal is Let's see, white people dish green bean casserole. I couldn't agree more. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not.
When I say disgusting, I mean I don't vomit.
And potato salad.
I'll eat potato salad.
Yeah, but some of y'all potato salads is just
this is my thing about
lacking.
Am I right, Vlad? Potato salad is more at home at a barbecue than at Thanksgiving dinner. I don't need it at Thanksgiving dinner. You can get some mashed potatoes.
The intangibles put in the Thanksgiving dinner.
I know they had it here too.
I knew it. That's why they come. That's why they come to this. That's why I did not come to the Thanksgiving dinner, the potluck that you guys do. I'm sorry. There's just not a lot.
I'll tell you this.
There's just not enough. There's put it this way. During the potluck, and the food must have been great, even though I didn't taste it. I'm just, from what the pictures that we're seeing, it's great. But I needed some minority. Well,
you got to represent.
I'm not cooking. I'm not cooking for y'all.
Let me tell you that for y'all. What in the world's going on here? What I was gonna say.
I'll cook for you, Kuzan, but I'm not cooking for them.
Cranberry dressing, man. I'm gonna tell you this. It's popular with some people. It's a polarizing topic. If I'm eating cranberry dressing, give me that jello-y can of cranberry dressing. That is so good. The homemade stuff, you can take it or leave it. But dude, the can of cranberry dressing, it's tart, it's jello-y, the consistency is good. You get it out of the refrigerator, you just hear it go out of the can and you start eating.
What's with you in the sound effects, man?
That's what I do. I'm not like the guy from Police Academy back in the day. Largo
You're not
Jones.
Michael Winslow, bro.
Hey, yo.
Man, do you like the cranberry dressing out of the can? I don't want the homemade stuff.
I'm not a cranberry dressing type of person.
Oh man, you give me that can. Ooh, I love it. Of course, I told you already, Detroit Lions, that is the one football game I have to watch on Thanksgiving Day. Detroit, that's it. The parade, take it or leave it. I'll watch it if it's on. I'm opening up Red Stripe or Prestige beer. I try to drink something nice, on the holiday. But I got to
Stoners, do you smoke a little bit more before Thanksgiving dinner?
Do you do
just
it
to get your stomach, just to get the appetite, to get the unbelievable Thanksgiving munchies?
Well, see, I'm opposite.
Because you're gonna smoke afterwards.
That's what I would think. You got to push it down.
You're gonna smoke afterwards.
You got to push it down.
You gotta push it down. But do you smoke to get your appetite up.
What if you don't get the munchies?
What do you mean you don't get the munchies?
I mean, I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying some people don't get the munchies when they take deep breaths.
You're not smoking gas then.
Man, come on.
Dude, you smoking gas. Gas is either putting your ass to sleep or they want you to eat.
Well, it affects people differently. Some people get a little smoke and they get motivated and go work out. Other people do a little
You're
smoke.
still gonna be hungry.
I don't know.
You're still gonna listen, man. You're gonna get cotton mouth one way or another. You're gonna get something to drink, and then once you put some type of liquids in you, I'm hungry too.
Well, I don't know. But then you're not talkative at the dinner table.
I don't care about being talking. I'm not talking. My mouth is moving. The only thing it's eating and swallowing. Pause. That's it. I'm not trying to have no conversation
I'm
with
trying
you.
to have conversations.
I have conversations with people all the time.
No, good question.
You can text me while I'm eating.
Good question, Vlad. Do you have the TV on when you're eating Thanksgiving dinner?
Absolutely. The football
really?
game's on.
I gotta turn it off, man.
What?
It's the one meal you're actually sitting down talking. You actually say grace before.
I don't want to hear him. I want to hear
always-
Kevin Bernhardt and Greg Olson.
I actually sit down and say grace. I actually say what I'm thankful for. Turn the TV off for at least 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Hell no.
Okay, I'm just saying we're going through the whole Thanksgiving thing.
No, we're watching it all. We might have music on. My dad might start playing holiday music.
Oh,
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear these people. Nah, I'm sick of them.
So-
I've heard it. Listen. I already heard from them while the ladies were preparing the food. Oh, you know what? Let me not say, just say ladies. While the people are preparing the food.
Everybody,
Because everybody prepares the food.
some people do, some people don't. I just bring beer and Bloody Marys, but that's me.
Yeah, I just bring alcohol and weed.
Huh?
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, no, I don't want to hear conversations. I want to hear the football.
Okay, different traditions, different people. I understand.
Do you eat in the afternoon or do you eat in the evening?
Around like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
So you eat
After
during
the Lions game. After the Lions game.
After or during the Lions game?
Sometimes I do have to miss the parts of the Lions game. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it depends. I'm not doing a lot of the cooking. I'm doing a whole lot of the drinking and the yappity yap, and then kind of getting down to the meal whenever it's ready. But yeah, it's usually not early and it's usually not super late. So it's in the middle of the afternoon. That's where I prefer it. Usually, like right after the Lions game finishes, you go ahead and get a little something in.
All right, before we go to break.
Oh.
When do you go for seconds? Is it like immediately?
Yeah.
Or do you wait like 3 or 4 hours, maybe right before you're about to go? You might call it a night, but you're not gonna call it a night, but you're setting up to call it a night. You get another last plate, or do you do it like 20 minutes, like immediately after the first?
My move is this: a moderate plate to begin with, not one of these monster mash piles of food. Because I like my food,
But you want the vital stuff immediately.
Yeah, you get the little taste of what you like, what's good, what's
Okay.
bad. Then you say, okay, now that I finished this first moderate plate, I'm gonna go back and get seconds. You get seconds, then maybe thirds, and then you veg out for a while. Then that's when you get into the sweet potato pie, the whatever else you might be doing, whether it's pumpkin pie. What else is a traditional dessert for Thanksgiving other than sweet potato and pumpkin pie? Maybe lemon meringue pie. I don't know. It's usually a pie. That's for later, once the food kind of settles. However you settle your stomach, that's your business.
I start seeing them start pack up, I get the Tupperware.
You get the to-go?
I know.
You're a to-go guy more than anything.
Well, it's always to go. But yeah, no, I'm getting a to go. I'm getting a to go for the next day.
Right.
But I'm also getting a to go
for the next day.
For like the next 10 minutes.
Oh, you need a little something. Well, then again, you've been breathing heavy for the past couple hours. Yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back with more headlines. 560 WQAM.
1, 2, 3, time to get into Hawk and Crowder's wheel.
Get this hour started with a little bit of cat talk brought to you by Celsius. Get your game going with some Celsius. This is one of my favorite right here, the Fantasy Vibe. It's sparkling mandarin marshmallow flavored. It's like this creamsicle, and everyone is just enjoying, Vlad. It's always good to get some Celsius in your life. Maybe you're going to be up late tonight doing some work in the kitchen. You need a little something to boost the wazoo. Celsius. Because if you're like me, alcohol and cooking does not go together. I am not good cooking, period, much less when I'm boozing and cruising. The Cats got a big one tonight, though. Rematch, round one of the Eastern Conference Stanley Cup playoffs last year. Bruins came in last year as the greatest regular season team of all time. And they got taken down. This year, not a lot has changed.
They up 3-1 to this on the Panthers.
They were. You and I went to that game.
Game 4. We thought we would never see another game at the time.
I told you at the time, I said, if this is what we're building, I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, you did.
Good thing I said that, because they would have never rallied if I wouldn't have called them out like that. But, came back. And then, let's be honest, they were a minute away pretty much from the season being over. But we got that late goal, and then in overtime, and the rest is history. The Cats so far have been so good.
Second best record in the East, right?
Yes, they are right behind the Boston Bruins. They are 3 points behind the Boston Bruins. So you can't catch them tonight.
We don't want to catch them tonight.
Do you want to win the President's Cup? I don't think so.
We won the President's Cups not too long ago.
And that got 2 years ago, and that got us in the second round, and we got
nothing.
swept by
Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah. Whooped us.
The President's Cup teams don't usually do too well. I don't know what the deal is with that, but if I'm going to be honest, that's superstition. That's the way things roll, so I'm not messing with that. So, yeah, it's one of those things. We don't want it. We'll just keep playing good. And I have been surprised by the Cats this year. I did think it was going to be a little more of a struggle. I thought it was going to be more of a mirror of last year, and this Cats team has actually looked really sharp. I've been very proud of them. Did you think it was going to be a mirror? Did you think that,
No, I actually thought
I like the idea of running it back.
I actually thought both the Heat and the Panthers were going to start off a little slow, and then somewhere around January get their act together right before the All-Star break, and then after the All-Star break get everything in motion. But give credit to both Paul Maurice and Eric Spoelstra, respectively, for having these teams focus after a long postseason. And
both teams made you a little shaky at the beginning.
But you expected that. That's why it was one of those things where I wasn't
press the panic button.
If you are a Heat or Panther fan, don't, because of what they've done. There's a history. They've shown you that once they get in the postseason, they can make things happen. More the Heat especially. But after last year's run, after last season, you were in a tough position because you can't go frantic if they start off slow, because they started off slow last season. And if they start off well, then it's just a continuation of how the postseason, that great postseason run by both teams, has carried into the regular season. Now you're starting to think, all right, is there any other pieces we need to add, or do we have everything we need in order to make a title run? Right now with the Heat, I think you still want to add another piece. You still can add another piece. Panthers, I don't know what other piece they need to add.
Get everybody healthy.
Right, but Panthers, what other piece do they need?
I'll nitpick and say the only other thing I'd like to see Spencer Knight kind of get back in the rotation and get back to what we expected him to be. Other than that, no.
There's really nothing for the Panthers, right?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, we're good. Tonight, take care of the Boston Bruins. We got you. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius part of your play and get the energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers. And I'm sure of a lot of people this holiday weekend, get yourself into some Celsius, man. That stuff got 0 calories, 0 sugar. It's on the vegan diet. It's on the kosher diet, non-GMO, gluten-free, or 0 sugar, no 0 calories. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to be a false advertiser. Nonetheless, man, 10 calories per serving. Yeah, Vlad, some people survive off of it. And you know what? I don't blame them. Let's get some headlines. From the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter, why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
9-5 Heat, 8-6 Cavs. Tonight, 7:30. Bam Adebayo, questionable hip contusion. Kevin Love, out, personal reasons. Donovan Mitchell, out with a hamstring. Max Strus will be playing. He will be trying to ball out.
Is Jimmy playing?
Supposed to be.
All right.
I looked at their injury report. The only person that's really questionable that outside of the regular Tyler Heroes and everything that, and we're going to get to Tyler Hero in the next segment. Bam Adebayo, the question. With
Hey,
the hip
weird
contusion.
question. You think the Heat and Dolphins would share Thanksgiving dinner with each other? They'll both be in the city. And I know how much respect Coach McDaniel has for Eric Spoelstra.
I would say no, but that's just me.
I'm just saying.
The Dolphins did debut on HBO's Hard Knocks last night. Going to be interesting to see what they do with the Thanksgiving meal.
Well, it must be great for them. HBO didn't have to go far. They were in the city.
That's true. That's true. They get the Jets Friday at 3:00. Tim Boyle going to be the Jets starting quarterback. Of course, we know Tua Tagovailoa, barring something absolutely crazy, will be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins.
You kidding me? HBO, Prime, Amazon Prime, everybody's protecting Tua. They don't want to see a Mike White versus Tim Boyle match.
Although there's a storyline there, backup Jets quarterbacks facing each other.
That's not what
storyline.
Amazon Prime wants to talk about right
Not a sexy storyline.
No, it's going to be all about the Dolphins. It's going to be Dolphin crazy on Amazon Prime starting at 1:30 with their pregame show.
We don't know who's going to be starting for the Miami Hurricanes when it comes to quarterback next year because Tyler Van Dyke remains mum on the whole subject. Asked if he'll play in the bowl game. Asked if he'll be back in Miami next year, his final year of eligibility. I'm worried about right now, and that makes me the best player that I can be.
Well, he's only worried about right now, but asking him about the bowl game is not that far. That's not that far in advance. Depending on how you finish, it could be within a week or two.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it sounds crazy, but a lot rides on this Boston College
right.
game Friday.
You lose, you're 6-6. You're like in the Pontietta Bowl.
Yeah. You're playing in the Bad Boy Mowers Bowl.
Yeah, you're like in Detroit. Like nasty, like December 13th in Detroit.
Idaho famous potato bowl. Yeah.
The Cheez-It.
One game doesn't seem like it matters that much, but it could matter a lot when it comes to a bowl game. Tyler Van Dyke, I have a feeling about what he's going to do with his career following the Boston College game, but what do I know? I'm not going to say how I feel. I'm just going to let you know. Lionel Messi did pull his groin last night as Argentina did defeat Brazil in a World Cup qualifier. He did also admit that he was playing most of we kind of already knew, although they didn't officially say it.
They said it was one of the worst games they've ever seen him play.
He said he was injured most of last season with Inter Miami.
And they said that he was one of the worst games they've ever seen him play last night, and he spent most of the time being worked on by the
he went out in the 78th minute, so he did tough it out for a long time, but look, father time, man. And I mean, you want to talk about tread on the tire? This is a guy who plays all 90 minutes since he's been 16 years old.
Oh boy. What are you saying now?
There's just tread on the tire, man.
I'm just saying. All right.
Next year, man, it should be an interesting one, though. Get him healthy, get him back going. It's interesting. He already said his December, although they've got a long break coming up in the international thing, too. So he's actually going to have a December off for the first time in a long time. So enjoy it, Lionel Messi. Let's maybe patronize some more Argentinian places in South Florida, give them a little bit of love and pub. That's always good. Top 4 in college football: Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Washington. Michigan and Ohio State, though, they play this Saturday at noon. Who are you pulling for, Vlad? Just pulling for, not your wallet, your heart.
I'm pulling for Michigan.
I am too, yeah.
Just because I want to see how nasty that whole situation between Harbaugh and the NCAA can get.
I like how Harbaugh was all about this is unfair. This is unfair. Maybe he got some insider information. Maybe he just realized he was barking up the wrong tree. That's okay. I'll sit out these games. No worries. No worries. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, he's good. No matter what, man. This guy, y'all gonna let me go? All right, bet. I got an NFL job waiting for me.
He does have that to fall back on. It's pretty nice.
And they pay well.
Yeah. I mean, college pays pretty well too.
Right.
But you don't have to work 24/7 like a dog. I hate to say I'd never. That would be a less appealing job to me, to be a college coach, to where it's just, you're always under the gun. You're always recruiting.
But you
you're
don't
always
have to do as much as college coaches, man. You got a lot of people that you delegate a lot of power to.
But you got to shake hands all the time.
Hey, you're gonna have to shake hands and kiss babies as a coach. That's part of the job.
You think
That's a
Sean
requirement.
Payton goes around and kisses babies and shakes hands?
He kissed the right babies and shook the right hands. He knows the hands he has to shake and the babies he has to kiss. He knows but he's not going to do it for every one of them.
That is funny though, man. As of a couple of weeks ago, the Broncos suck. Russell Wilson is washed. Sean
Oh,
Payton,
Russell Wilson's still washed. Don't
his
get it
his
right.
coaching style is antiquated. Now they're 5-5.
No, Russell's still washed. It's just that,
He wasn't watching that last 2-minute drill that they had against
okay,
the Vikings.
this is what I love about sports, man. So
It's about now. It's not about anything
one
else.
moment.
Yep.
Right. We're not going to say that the Denver Broncos, the only chance they get to win the games is if their defense causes turnovers. The defense that gave up 70 points to a Miami Dolphins team now is playing very well, playing like the defense that we thought they were when they were top 5 defense last season. But the Broncos are just like many other teams, no different than the Jets or the Steelers or even the Cowboys. When their defense causes turnovers and gives their offense short fields, they look like a formidable team. But they can't do that. They get their ass kicked. That's what happens. They're playing well right now, but Denver, he's still washed.
These teams are still pro teams. That's what I say. Like, don't think, because you get Tim Boyle and the Jets team that got murdered by or a Bills team that wasn't playing well. They ain't going to give you a game on Black Friday. These are pros. They have pride. They got skill too. So should be interesting. Speaking of pros, Tyler Hero, we haven't seen him in the pros.
Is he coming back soon?
We're going to talk about that and what that means for the Heat, what it means for Tyler Hero, what it might mean for the rest of the league. That is next here on Tobin and Leroy 560 WQAM.
And we've got action. The Heat are in Cleveland tonight for
Game Day Uncensored, going to be coming to you bright and early on Black Friday. Our dudes, Omar Kelly, Alejandro Solana, and contrary to popular belief,
Yeah, why everybody thinks Tobin's fired or something like that?
Tobin will be back. Game Day Uncensored. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock on Black Friday. That means that Game Day Uncensored will begin at 11 a.m. Mark my words, Tobin will be on the pregame with Alejandro Solana and Omar Kelly. And Vlad will also be there. So it's a Black Friday. Now, let's get into this Black Friday first. I mean, the main course, I am going to say, is the Dolphins-Jets game. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. But there's so many other. It's like Thanksgiving. There's so many good things on Black Friday to enjoy. Like 8 o'clock in the morning, you get Hollywood, Danny Rabinowitz, and Brian Monroe, who we all love also. They're going to be doing the pregame for the Hurricanes and Boston College. And you and I just discussed, it might seem like, Boston College, Miami, not the greatest teams in the ACC, but this game means a lot, especially the Miami Hurricanes. It's kind of the difference between playing in the Gasparilla Bowl or maybe in your and I backyard some couple weeks from now, or it could be playing in a pretty decent bowl like the Sun Bowl or something like that.
Yeah, you're either going to El Paso, Texas,
which is not terrible, by the way,
or you're going to be like in some like somewhere deep in North Carolina, some place that you don't even know.
You could be at the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and I love Mayo, but like maybe not for a bowl game, nonetheless. So the pregame starts at 8 o'clock on Black Friday. Get up for that. Enjoy. Kickoff between the Hurricanes and the Eagles is going to be at noon. So that's bright and early. Some action right there. Then, of course, you get the Dolphins and the Jets. That's going to be kicking off at 3 o'clock. Like we said, Game Day Uncensored, going to be starting at 11 o'clock. That's going to run you through pretty much most of the day.
I don't get this. So we're getting a full 4-hour Game Day Uncensored.
Mm-hmm.
We only had a 2.5-hour Game Day Uncensored when it was NFL Europe, when they went to take on the Chiefs. I don't get that. I don't understand.
I only say they didn't want to get up at 4 a.m., I guess. I don't know,
Jesus.
You and I never had a problem doing a show at 4 a.m.
I tell you, man.
Actually, kind of like it. Kind of like it. You could always have special guests in studio. Huh? Turn the cameras off. The Heat also play on Black Friday because everybody's got to jump in. I want to say that's a 6 o'clock game.
It's Miami versus New York Friday.
And that is a 6 o'clock game?
No, it's a 7:30 game. It's going to be on ESPN.
Ooh, a 7:30 ESPN.
Yes, because this is one of the in-season tournament games.
You saw the Lakers yesterday.
4-0.
4-0 and advancing.
And they have home court for the quarterfinals.
LeBron has a lot of things on his resume. Could he be trying to add?
See, this is going to be interesting. Okay. Let me ask you this, and I'm happy you brought this up. Yes, Dr. Tobaga is on ESPN. The Knicks Heat. So you'll get to watch both Miami, New York games on national TV.
Oh, that's interesting. Both in Miami, New York.
Yeah.
The
prime game at 3, and then the Heat Knicks at 7:30.
The pride and the joy of the Northeast versus the pride and the joy of the Southeast.
There you go. And by the way, folks, if you are listening in New York, or you're listening and you're a Dolphins fans or a Heat fan, there's no possible way you can go see the game, both games. There's no chance. You're not going to get to see them both. By the time the game ends in New York, in Jersey, the MetLife, it'll probably be 6:30. For you to leave MetLife to get to 34th Street, 7th Avenue, Penn Station, to get to the Garden, you'll be lucky to get there midway through the third quarter.
Now, remember, this is another thing. If you are in the New York City area, which you probably already know if you're a Dolphins fan, Slattery's Midtown Pub, that's the place for all the Dolphins.
Okay.
And if they want to pipe in WQAM, sure.
You should do that. Now, here's the question.
What's the question?
In-season tournament.
I love it.
If certain teams or certain superstars win it, does it give it more? Or do you knock the individual for being the first to win it? Like if the Lakers win the first in-season tournament, is it something for the LeBron? There's a lot of banging going on here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You got a lot of banging going on in the building today.
Like, geez, like there's not a show going on.
I'm just saying the bosses aren't here.
If LeBron and the Lakers win this in-season tournament, is this an accolade that he can say in his argument of being the GOAT? Or is this also a shot? Like, come on,
Michael
nobody
Jordan
cares.
Never won the in-season tournament.
Nobody cares about the in-season tournament.
I do.
Well, only you. But
I mean, the extra $500,000 to each player and the head coach,
Dude,
that
they
means-
can do that easily, man.
I know, but still, you're not turning down $500,000 in the competitive spirit that they have.
Bro, they play to get $500,000. That's in their
fine.
contract.
That's still an extra $500,000, not turning it down. But yes, if I'll say this, if a big superstar wins it, it does make the in-season tournament a little more legitimate.
If it's like a final, like Lakers versus Heat, does that make the tournament legitimate?
It makes it more legitimate.
Okay. Is this something that you think Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat are like, yeah, we got to do this.
Yeah.
We got to go extra hard.
I can hear the post game like, no, this meant a lot to us. We really went out there and we had a goal to go out there and win this midseason tournament. It's not the end all be all, but it is something that we as an organization went out there and made a concerted effort to try to win and take home. So yeah, I do. I mean, at least they're going to say that. I don't know how much it is, but I do believe that is
Okay.
something that you
for
want.
Heat culture. For Heat cult.
That's my guy.
The in-season tournament works like this. There's a group of 5 teams. Group A, Group B, Group C.
It's kind of like the World Cup of basketball.
It's literally like the World Cup of basketball.
on a much smaller scale.
You play each team in your group once.
You can advance.
Best record advances, right? But you also got to win by a certain amount of points because that's also a tiebreaker.
Style points count.
So yes. So if you beat a team by 50, that's beautiful. It's worth more than beating a team by 1.
Mhm.
But the wins counts for 2. It counts for your regular season record and it counts for the tournament. All right? Boom. You get that part? So 3 groups, 5 teams in each group. All 30 teams are playing. Here's how it works. The 3 group leaders win. They all advance. And 1 wild card team. The wild card team with the best record and best point differential.
Yeah.
They advance.
Ooh,
So
wait, there's a guy from North Carolina. His last name is High. I just wanted to point that out. Go ahead.
okay.
That's just a weird last name. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. No.
You need that jersey though. Okay, go ahead, please.
So they go into the quarterfinals. You hear, all right, Heat Colt and everybody else who doesn't understand this. So remember, there's 3 group winners from each conference and 1 wild card team. The team with the best record and best point differential. Then they play each other in the quarterfinals. And then
It's a knockout.
it's pretty much a knockout. It's a knockout. So if you're the top seed like the Lakers, I think you would play the wild card, which would be whoever the wild card is. And whoever is the second seed, because how many points you win also is the ranking. So the Lakers had the highest, biggest point differential, so they're number 1. They get to host a knockout game. If you win the knockout game, you advance to the semifinals, which is in Las Vegas. Semifinals and finals are in Las Vegas.
Correct.
So the quarterfinals, also known as the knockout, it's going to be 1 against 4 and 2 against 3 in each conference. There it is.
And then you play, and the winner, each player will get $1 million, $500,000. Head coach will get $500,000, and also some of the coaches will get money. So there is money on the line.
And yeah, everybody that wins gets $500,000, and the coaches get $250,000.
There is a trophy.
There's a ridiculous trophy, but it's basically their version of soccer, and NCAA tournament all in one.
Yeah, it's an in-season tournament. It's
It makes
play
no sense.
followed by knockout play.
But for the NBA, in order for this to advance and be good, they would need the big players and the big teams, the storied franchises, to care for it and make it valuable. That's it. So you would want the Lakers, you would want the Celtics, you would want Denver, you would want the Heat, you would want Milwaukee.
You want star power in large markets. That
Right.
would be your goal.
But you're not going to get that. I don't know how they were doing that, because you could tell if you were trying to, because you try to group everybody.
The worst nightmare for the NBA is a team like the Portland Trail Blazers going in there, getting
Against,
hot,
like the
winning.
Indiana Pacers.
Because not only would they win, they don't bring a lot of eyes, and also it would open the conversation of, oh, well, what they should do with this in-season tournament is the winner gets an automatic playoff berth or an automatic play-in
You can't do
berth.
that.
No, they can't. But what would that be the conversation? Look what the Blazers did. They won the in-season tournament.
The only way you would have been able to do that if that
You can't do that.
No, you can't, because
9 out of 10 times it's going to be a good team.
no, but you
that's
would have to
gonna
have an in-season tournament like right after, like midway through the All-Star break. Like if you were 50 games into it and 52 games into the season and you did the in-game tournament and then said that the winner would automatically get a
But
bid.
what I'm saying is it opens up the conversation. If a lesser team wins, that in the future what you should do is allow them to
Right, that's
get
what
an
I'm
automatic
saying.
play-in spot.
That's what I would say. That would be the only way that I can understand that. But no, it's not gonna happen.
But I mean, like,
but they don't
you
want.
think the Nuggets are worried about a play-in spot?
You don't want a week.
No.
You don't want Dan. You don't want a week
No.
of watch, because that's another thing. One, they got to take a week off, and then every team that doesn't make it to the semifinals and finals, they got to add 2 games into their schedule because the NBA is basically gonna be off for a week because of that in-season tournament.
Some teams might strategically,
but you don't
rest.
want like, for example, if you have Indiana who won their division, you don't want an Indiana.
They scored 150 something last night.
That's great, but do you want Indiana? Do you want a like you said, if Portland was one of those teams? You don't want that. Do you want to see Toronto?
No.
No. Cleveland? No. Houston? No. You want to see the big names and the stars and to be there. So hopefully the Heat who are 2-0 and they play tonight against Cleveland. You catch here on 560 WQAM. Tip-off is at 7:30. Well, tip-off really at 7:40. But Friday is an in-season tournament game against the hated rival Knicks.
Yep.
Knicks are 1-1. Heat are 2-0. If the Heat win this game, they take on Milwaukee. I think that's going to be on Tuesday night in Miami. I think that's a battle for first place in the group. So I think the winner of that Miami-Milwaukee game will be the winner of that group. I'm going to watch it now. That's a little bit more because, like you said, 500. If somebody's going to tell you, hey, guys, we're a chance closer to get $500,000, somebody's going to go crazy for it. Somebody's going to go extra hard.
You come all that way.
Somebody might miss a trip to the Fontainebleau.
That's true. That is true.
Or Tootsies or Cheetahs.
I will tell you this. I watched the Portland Trailblazers the other night. They are not going to win
They
this
stink.
season tournament. And getting back to Black Friday, if you still don't have enough sports at 8:00, you are going to get the Panthers back in action.
Who are they taking on?
I want to say that they will be playing the Senator. No, they're going to be playing the Jets. Winnipeg Jets.
Look at the so
Paul
Dolphins
Maurice.
take on the Jets.
Paul Maurice. Yeah.
Dolphins take on the Jets. Panthers take on the Jets. Miami's taking on the Knicks. Dolphins taking on the Jets. Yeah, just a lot of symmetry there.
I like it. So Black Friday going to be a busy day, and of course, once again, don't miss.
It's
Game
Miami
Day
versus the
Uncensored.
Northeast this week, man. Canes, BC. Panthers versus the Bruins.
House divided.
House divided. It's Miami versus the whole Northeast.
I'll be pulling for all the Miami teams. That's just me, though. South Florida all the way, baby. Up next, we're going to get into it, Vlad, a little something or nothing here on 560 WQAM. step aside from the sports just a little bit. You know, we're going to be nonstop basically tomorrow. Whenever the Detroit Lions game starts, all the way through Black Friday, the weekend, Ohio State, Michigan. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Nonetheless, right now we want to get into a little something or nothing. Vlad, you're going to decide whether it is something or nothing. If you watch Sports Day or listen to Sports Day on the weekends, noon to 4, Saturdays and Sundays, you know, we do this, and you always do a good job on deciding whether it really is something or nothing, or at least grounding me and letting me know. James Madison University is going to drop the lawsuit against the NCAA about being bowl eligible. If you remember correctly, James Madison, it's only their second year in the FBS. They're not eligible. They were 10-0. They were suing, saying we should be able to play in a bowl, even though the bylaws say I cannot play in the bowl until we're a certain amount of years. Well, they lose to Appalachian State. Now,
of course. Once you lose, your lawsuit's lost as well.
Yeah, you can't lose those games, especially with game day there. Game day was there too, watching.
Yeah, and you lost.
And you lost to a team that was actually decent. Nonetheless,
it's nothing.
That's what I'm going to say. It's nothing. This is one of our favorite stories, and when I say favorite, most disgusting stories. Colts owner Jim Irsay says in 2014 he was driving under the influence. Possibly he got arrested. He says the only reason he got arrested was because he was profiled as a white billionaire. Something or nothing.
Yeah, it's something stupid. That's a dumb thing to say, man.
So the dude's taking a bunch of pills, allegedly driving, and says, if I was just a regular Joe, they wouldn't have pulled me over. But since I'm a white billionaire, they pulled me over.
You're right. Since you're a regular, if you were a regular Joe, you would be arrested and doing time. Because you're Jim Irsay and you're a white billionaire, that's why you probably got let go with a slap on the wrist.
My biggest question is, if you're a billionaire, why are you driving, much less intoxicated driving? You can't have a chauffeur.
It's can't
hire an Uber.
Let me ask you this. All right, you're right. I ask the same question all the time, but then there are times
up, man.
You just want to you want to just drive your own car. You don't want to be driven around all the time,
right.
Even though you have all the access in the world. Sometimes you just want to feel like you're an individual
and sometimes
independent.
It's too much trouble. You're just trying to go somewhere real quick, get something to go.
Now, however, though, if you're under the influence, you got to call a driver.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
I took an Uber to a Cheesecake Factory the other day, man. I mean, come on. You know that David Beckham Netflix documentary? Well, his wife, Victoria Beckham, has dropped a new T-shirt on the show that says, "My dad has a Rolls Royce." It's kind of a joke because apparently a lot of people think she's a very rich and uptight woman from her childhood days. And she says, no, I'm not so much. So she's released that shirt. Is that something or nothing?
It's nothing.
I'm not buying that. Well, she has aged beautifully, by the way.
She's smart.
Let's leave it at that. Halftime shows have been announced. Jack Harlow, he's going to be at the halftime of the Detroit game. Dolly Parton, she's going to be at the halftime of that.
What's
Cowboys
going on?
game.
Dolly Parton's making a resurgence of late.
She's released a rock album because she got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and felt it was unfair that she got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame without rock music. So she's released a rock album. And then for the final game of the night, the Seattle-San Francisco
Wait.
game.
Let me guess. Wait, Jack Harlow's doing Detroit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dolly Parton's doing
Dallas.
Seattle? Who they get? They should get Baby Got Back. He's from out there.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Presidents of the United States, Sir Mix-a-Lot, they're all out there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Seattle, you could have gone grunge. They're not going grunge?
Mm-mm.
They going big name pop star?
Yes, sir. Somebody that maybe fits a demographic of people in Seattle. A certain demographic.
Is it a gentleman or a female?
It is a man.
A gentleman, a graphic in Seattle.
Pop.
I don't know.
DJ Benihana.
Who?
DJ Benihana, Steve Aoki.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't like that, but you know what? Facts are facts.
Why do you call him DJ Benihana?
His pops owns Benihanas. His dad invented or was one of the inventors and owners of Benihanas.
Are you serious? I never knew that.
Yeah, he doesn't like people knowing that, but it's true. It's true. Steve Aoki.
Why does he like? Why Steve Aoki doesn't like that?
Because he wants to think that he made it on his own.
Dude, nobody's saying you were cutting up on, you was mixing on the grill.
So is that something right there? Jack Harlow, Dolly Parton, Steve Aoki?
Yeah, it's something for me to take a smoke break.
I remember last year I got in trouble because I didn't think BB Rexa looked all that great, and you and some other people were like, "Oh no, she looked great.
She looked good. She looked good. She looked good that day."
Okay.
Hey man, you can't shame. People thought not you.
What's that Disturbed song?
they were shaming her and her look. And
Okay.
I was like, no, she looked.
No, a lot of people
looked
said they
right.
loved her. They loved her.
Yeah, well, there was those that didn't like the way she looked. I
Okay.
wasn't one of them.
A rare 24-cent stamp from back in 1918 with an upside down plane is now worth $2 million. Is that something or nothing?
Yeah, something valuable to somebody.
Stamps, man.
Stamps with an upside down plane. You said?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Misprinted upside down plane. Scientists say the serpentine bat, the male member, is 7 times larger than the female's member. And in fact, he doesn't even use it. You know what? I'm just gonna move on.
Wait. No.
It's unusable.
Nah, you got to.
You have to touch it. They become a touch and not a.
All right, the
typical-
bat,
7 times larger.
Oh wait. Describe the bat.
It's a small bat.
No. What's the name of the bat?
Serratin.
A Serratin bat
Yes,
is 7 times
larger than what he needs to be.
when he's horned up.
Yeah. And he just uses it to swipe away her tail, and then it's a contact.
Oh, so
intimacy.
he just
he can't use it. He can't.
He's
use
not
it.
even getting it in.
You can't. No. It's too much. It's too big. It's way
He
too big.
just needs a touch,
Just a touch.
and that's it.
That's it. You're good.
And he flies. He releases. Okay,
You know what? I'm not one
he
of these
releases
scientists.
wings. He releases his wings and flies away.
It's just, it's one of those
Alright, cool.
cases, like,
Something that
That's
I
something.
didn't know that I needed to know, and I didn't want to know, but I guess I know now.
Oh, a man in Ohio. He is what they call a grazer. He likes
He
to
just got
shop.
that. That's funny.
He likes to go shopping and, of course, eat while he's shopping. He says it's not illegal in his mind because he does pay for it at the end of the shopping trip.
Nah, I don't like. Wait, so he goes to a store, starts buying the food that he wants. No, picking up the food that he wants.
Right. We all
and
know people
eats
that-
it.
and eats it while he's walking. Like, you open up a bag of chips.
Nah,
eat the
I don't
chips,
like that.
But he pays for it at the end.
I don't like that. That's nasty.
I don't like that because it gives other people the idea.
Right, it gives other people, and then all of a sudden, you're not at home.
And now my food costs are all up. And also, I don't like a guy walking next to me wolfing down some hummus while I'm trying to buy like bread and stuff like that. Is it illegal? I don't know. That's a gray area. I don't know. I just don't do it. It's not right. A British woman, she paid $25 for a ham sandwich at a local grocery store and was furious because they didn't have a price on it. She said it wasn't all that special. Is that something or nothing?
Yo, the minute she found out it was $25, why
not
don't she just put it back down?
That's something right there.
That's that's no, you can't be upset. Yeah, be upset at the price, but be upset yourself for buying it.
Yeah. Well, you can. It's not like a drink. Like, now we've all done this. Yo, can I get a Crown and Coke or something like that?
Ladies, I know it's hard. That's one word it's easy for you to say is no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You tell me that all the time.
I get that a lot.
Now, I've done this at a bar. Hey, can I get a Crown and Coke? That'll be $20. Like, it's already made. What can you do? This is a sandwich that's been made, but it's still packaged. I don't know. A woman hiking in California was followed by 3 bears for hours during her hike. Something or nothing.
Hey, read that again.
So a woman's hiking in California, and for 3 hours, 3 bears are following her.
And he ain't attack her.
You know what I tell her.
You know what that means, right?
You got to ditch that cocaine, man.
It's either cocaine or it's that time of the month.
Oh, I didn't know. That was a different turn than I thought it was.
Nah, because why would they be following her?
Because cocaine. They say they suspect she has some cocaine.
No, they ain't expect. That's you saying that they expect she had cocaine because you love the cocaine.
Bears love
You love the cocaine bear.
Bears love cocaine.
Okay, but they followed her for she might have had something.
She had something,
but could have been
okay
that time of the month.
A burglar in China was caught and arrested while during the burglary, decided to smoke a cigar and take a nap. Homeowners called the police when they heard him snoring in another room.
What a fool.
Dude.
Yo, how bad are you that you smoking a cigarette and you fast asleep, man?
Isn't the adrenaline a little higher?
What was he eating pre-Thanksgiving food?
It might have been.
He must have ate Thanksgiving food.
There might have been something in that cigar. I don't know.
Yeah, well, whatever it was. How do you fall asleep when you're committing a crime and then you're snoring?
Man. It's
Oh
different
my
world.
God. How do you tell that to the judge?
So I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just needed to take a nap. I wasn't breaking in. I just needed a nap. Last but not least, a woman says after announcing that she was pregnant, her mother-in-law started acting very strange around her own son. So this mother-in-law, who's son is now the father of this girl's baby. The mother-in-law started showering her own son with baby gifts, romance cards, and even rubbing his thighs while calling him daddy.
Wait, time out. Hold on. What kind of weirdness is going on here? You're telling me a mother-in-law?
Her own son. So her daughter-in-law admits, "Hey, we're pregnant. We're having a baby."
Oh, so the daughter. Okay, that explains better. So
The daughter-in-law,
a wife is saying
"We're pregnant,"
a wife said that she's pregnant. They're having a child, and her mother-in-law,
which is the
son's mother. I mean,
with
her
the
husband's
with
mother.
the soon-to-be father's own mother,
Right.
starts showering him with baby gifts, romantic cards, and rubbing his thighs, calling him daddy. I'm done. I'm done.
What country is it? I mean, what state is this?
It was
It's West Virginia?
what is those anonymous Reddit posts?
Yeah, it's West Virginia.
Oh,
It's definitely West Virginia.
Final hour of the Tobin and Leroy show next, 560 WQAM.
I need a shower.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios. Edmore Sawgrass Buick GMC's entire inventory is on sale and all backed by Morse. Click EdmoreSawgrassBuickGMC.com to start shopping.
Thanksgiving Eve. And we got you covered right here on the Tobin and Leroy show. Tobin and Leroy taking some time off. Marcos and J Pig also taking the time off. That means my cousin Vladimir, Louison, and I, Day and Day, hanging with you. Hey, we're not done. We're not taking a vacation. Sports never ends. Tonight you get the Heat and the Cavaliers. Kevin Love, not a triumphant return to Cleveland because he's not playing for personal reasons. Max Strus, though, you got to feel as though he's got a little extra juice, even though there's no really hard feelings between he and the Heat. Still, you want to show out against your former team. Duncan Robinson, he's been playing hotter than a fox in a forest fire. Got to give him some credit. A guy who the past 2 seasons, a lot of people thought, let's not worry about him anymore. His pockets are weighing him down. They said in the offseason, he worked extra hard, and that is now paying dividends. I think Duncan Robinson heard all the chatter. You know, everybody says Tyler Hero's motivated. I think Duncan Robinson's tired of not just hearing that I'm going to get traded, but I'm not even a integral part of the trade. I'm just a money dump. And he's gone out there, and he has balled out lately. I'll say both ends of the floor, offensively, of course, but defensively, he's been less of a liability. He's actually been playing some pretty good defense out there. I've been very proud and very happy to see what Duncan Robinson is doing. Bam Adebayo, a question mark for tonight. He's got that hip flexor. They will probably make a decision on that right at game time. You know how it is. Spo pre-presser will be like, yeah, he'll go. That's it. That's all you get. I expect Bam to play tonight. And with that being said, that means he probably won't play. No.
More than likely, probably won't.
We'll see, man. But this is not a rollover Cavaliers team. They beat the 76ers last night in overtime, and Max Strus had 20 points. So
Strus.
The Strus juice is loose. You'll hear Jason Jackson hopefully not say that tonight at any point. I don't know. He might do it for old time's sake if Strus hits a three.
Miami should win this game. I mean, they're coming off a tough battle against Philadelphia last night. Overtime, back-to-back. Yeah.
Without Donovan Mitchell playing tonight.
And no Donovan Mitchell, but Garland's been playing very well.
30, you would say 36?
Yeah, I think he's averaged like 25 over his last 6 games. So he's been playing well. And Jared Allen had a good game last night.
Jared Allen's been an all-star. Pretty much.
But it's funny. It's funny because Charles Barkley said something last night in the post game. And it's interesting. He said that he considers Jared Allen a floater. And what he means by that is the type of guy, if he's not involved early in the game, he's just going to float around for the rest of the game. But if he gets involved early, he's going to be a defensive presence on the board and going to be more active. That's
what you got to do, and you got to quote-unquote floater. Get him involved early. Get him
Miami
rolling.
You're going against a team with a lot of size and height with Evan Mosley, I just spoke of what's his name of Jared Allen and Tristan Thompson.
Oh, I was hoping not to mention that name.
Tristan Thompson, he's still there.
I was so surprised the other day.
He's still producing.
When I saw him get a block in a game, I was like, Tristan Thompson's still in the league.
I can't believe it. Well, listen, that's what LeBron does for you. Nobody thought he was. I thought he was done with the league. He gets a call right before the postseason and is added into the Lakers roster. And one of the funniest things of last season was, I think it was Game 4 when they got swept by the Nuggets.
Yeah,
LeBron played every minute, and he had such a great game. But like once it was going to half, they were going to the half. He made sure his ass was straight to the locker room to get some rest, to rehydrate and everything. So they had nobody to talk to. So poor Lisa Salters.
Keep up with the Kardashians.
Poor Lisa Salters had to talk to Tristan Thompson.
He had 2 points the other night, by the way.
He only had 2 points that game as well. But the only person they could find to talk to was Tristan Thompson, who was just signed literally like 4 weeks ago.
Look, we've learned one thing about Tristan Thompson. He is a hanger-oner when it comes to the NBA.
Let him hang on. I hang on.
When it comes to Khloe Kardashian,
I'll be hanging on.
I'm going to not hang on to Khloe. Courtney, Kim, Kylie,
it's the one
Kendall.
It's the one that you hate on.
Rightfully so.
It's the one that's the jewel.
The
one that you hate on is usually the jewel, bro.
Ride or die is what they say, huh? Tristan Thompson. I'm not. Your personal business be darned. Your game, man.
You got to give Tristan credit, man. He said something. I feel so bad after I cheat. Really? Why did you cheat in the first place?
Bad on a weekly basis? Is that what we're saying?
You on a daily basis, you feel that bad?
Man, if you feel so bad, take a break, bro.
Well, just don't cheat.
Can't do that. No.
So I'm not gonna feel bad.
I
know.
The guy's still in the league.
I know what I was doing. I did it.
Did he come in with Kyrie? Did he and Kyrie come in together in that draft?
No, well,
Or did he come in?
no. You know what? Wait a minute.
He was like, remember that year
It
Cleveland
was
had
either
like the
Kyrie
first
came
and
in
the
with
third
Kyrie,
pick?
or he was there with Anthony Bennett. It might have been
It might have been Anthony Bennett. It was
I think
Anthony Bennett. Further
yeah.
back. Yeah, I knew it was further back. But that was the year like they had the number 1 and then they had the number 3. He was like the number 3 overall.
He was number
pick.
4. He was
number 4. Yeah. They had a high, and you were like, man, they didn't get a
you
lot
were
out of
like,
that
all right.
draft.
I was like, okay, they kind of play the same positions, but all right, let's see what's going on.
I remember watching the rookie year being like, man, they really didn't get much out of those picks. Tristan Thompson.
So,
LeBron,
Tristan
man.
Thompson's still there.
LeBron, he's made some people's careers, man. Give him credit. He has made Brian Windhorst, congratulations. Right place, right time. Now he's going for mine. Let's get to the headlines. The new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Bam Adebayo, like I said, questionable. Kevin Love out, personal reasons. Spida Mitchell, hamstring out. Nonetheless, 8-6 Cavs. 9-5 Heat. Cavs coming off that back-to-back. 7:30 tonight. Tonight, you get a rematch. Round 1, Eastern Conference, Stanley Cup playoffs. Panthers, they host the Bruins at 7 o'clock.
Head out there, man. Some great crowds the last couple of home games.
You got nothing to do tomorrow.
That Sunday afternoon against the Blackhawks.
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
That was a 1 o'clock game. That was a matinee.
You got
that
everything you
wanted.
wanted.
That was sell out.
You got a Panthers win, and Connor Bedard got a brace. Got
right.
2.
He got 2 goals. Yeah.
I know. I got distracted. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we get 790.
We get easily distracted sometimes.
790 is looking good. And a great turnout Monday night versus Edmonton.
It's a home ice advantage, to be honest.
But you're talking about, okay, let's be real. We're talking about Sunday afternoon against NFL.
No Dolphins game, granted.
There was no Dolphin game, but still, you're talking about a week. What was it? Week 9? Week 9 NFL Sunday. People are more than likely staying home, watching the games, fantasy, gambling, all of that.
The Panthers have a home ice advantage. They've sold out the lower bowl when it comes to season tickets, and the fans have been loud and proud. And it hasn't been the opposing fans that have been loud and proud. It's Cats fans. I go places all the time, and I see people wearing Panthers gear and telling me I am a fan. A lot of people do admit last year I kind of got into it with the run, and now I'm here to stay. Hey, I'm down for that.
I'm just happy that, people are going to check out some great hockey, support this Stanley Cup finalist team. And on days that, listen, man, even the Heat it's hard for the Heat to sell out on a Monday, on a Tuesday, unless it's a big name team or player.
The tickets always sell out. It's just the attendance.
The attendance, you're right. Tickets are always sold. It's just people going to attend. But the fact that people wanted to attend, okay, they wanted to go to Sunrise on a Monday night.
Yeah,
that was good. So please turn out and let there be more Cat fans and more Panther fans than Bruin fans. Don't give your seats. Don't give your tickets away to those people from Boston. All right, don't give it to the people in the Northeast. I don't want to hear it.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see black and gold all around Sunrise.
And if you're a Dolphins season ticket holder, when those Cowboys fans offer you $500, $600 a ticket, I can't say, do what you gotta do. It's Christmas Eve.
Take it.
It's Christmas Eve, lad. You got family to deal with, right? I know a lot.
Listen, man, you can make a lot of money when the Cowboys come. You can sell them tickets and sell them other stuff. It's the Cowboys. They're down with it.
Let's talk about the Dolphins right now.
The White House for a reason.
HBO's Hard Knocks.
Great
episode 1 last night.
Great episode.
It's only a distraction if you start losing. If you start winning, no big deal.
I forgot to tell you who the star.
Yeah. Who was it?
You ready for this?
I don't know who could it be.
The linebacker coach.
Yes, everyone was talking about that also. I thought you were going to say Tyreek Hill's mom, but
no,
okay.
Tyreek Hill's mom was also a star. But you know what I'm saying?
I heard about I was seeing that that was kind of the sneaker star of the whole first episode.
Nah, he's the star. I forgot to say that. He's the star of this show because he said this, man. What's the line that he said? It's hysterical. He said, "Ass whooping is a universal language." When he said it, right? You're like, true. Oh man. But then when he broke it down, he's like, it's true. He's like, I don't need to know how to speak French if I'm in France. I just know that if somebody's getting their ass whipped in France, he's getting his ass whipped in France. And it's true. You don't need ass whippings is a universal language.
First time I went to Italy, those people were so rude. And I met this dude from the South. He goes, you know what they need to learn about? An ass whooping. Walked up on a dude, was about to beat that Italian dude's ass. That Italian dude backed up real quick.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows what that is.
Dude, when that coach, I don't want to
it's like
mispronounce the name.
With a C or something like
that. Yeah, I think he's Italian. You could tell he's Italian. He's definitely Italian.
I don't know why Italians are catching shrapnel right now.
No, he's definitely Italian. He's definitely Italian. But
fiery.
But dude, when he said it, ass whippings is a universal language, and you could tell that everybody was when he said it, because Tyreek started saying it. So you could say it resonated in Tyreek said, because Tyreek was like, ass whippings is a universal language. Anybody could speak ass whippings. So yeah, that was the star of the show.
Excellent. Does lasagna belong on the Thanksgiving dinner table?
What?
Does lasagna? A lot of people do lasagna at Thanksgiving. And since
Absolutely.
Look, whatever you want to bring to Thanksgiving, I'm not going to turn it down. There's nothing I don't think that doesn't belong.
Lasagna? Who's going to turn down lasagna?
I'm not turning anything down. Like, bring what you want to Thanksgiving.
Jewel and all of that, man.
Gabagool.
Yeah.
Gabagool. Tyler Van Dyke remains non-committal on his future at the U. All he knows is he's playing against Boston College.
You better play great Friday afternoon.
Friday at noon. Big
you better
game
play
right there.
great Friday afternoon, or trust me, the fan base will be escorting him out of the Coral game.
The feeling might be a little more mutual. You want to leave? We want you to leave. Let's go. I think a lot of people are looking at Emory Williams to be the future quarterback at the U. But hey, look, a lot can happen between now and Friday, much less between anything else like that. I also want to show some love for some of the other local teams. FAU, they're going to take on Rice Saturday at 1, while FIU.
Football or basketball?
Oh, of course, football.
Okay.
FIU and Western Kentucky do battle at 3. Get this, Vlad.
Don't say of course. FAU's a Final Four team. Don't be saying of course.
No, they did lose the other day.
Pete
Wagner got the best of them.
The bad teams get to you,
Oh, no, it's a long season.
Michigan State lost. First game of the season. They were ranked number 4 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Kansas lost number 1 last night.
Well, they lost to Marquette.
Number 4.
Marquette's probably the number 1 team in the country.
But get this, no college football tonight.
Yes, there is. No, you're right. There isn't.
Tomorrow's the Egg Bowl.
Tomorrow. Bro, there's no MAC action. There's no
action was last night.
Mid-majors, nothing.
I looked everywhere.
No MEAC?
No MEAC, no SWAC, no nothing.
Nothing.
Nah, nada, as they say. Nah, nada.
I mean, that's good for the bars, man.
That means you get a bunch of Heat action. That's going to be absolutely wonderful. Some NBA action, some college basketball action, and you trying to sneak away from your family by going to bars. Man.
No, this is one of the best nights for bars all across the country.
Clubs.
People come home from college. Family members come down to
what a lot of people in Miami-Dade don't understand is that Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve is a huge going out party night. South Florida, for some reason, people will do these Noche Buenas and all this nonsense.
Christmas Eve is a huge going out, but you're going to a house, though.
No.
You're more
No.
Thanksgiving Eve, you're really hitting
Thanksgiving
the bars.
Eve's the hardest, but Christmas Eve's a big party night also.
No, it is it's a big party night, but you're usually at a house.
No. The clubs are pretty packed in most parts of the country. I've lived in other parts of the country.
Well, you know what? Maybe other parts.
It's
of the
a
country.
ghost town down here because
Florida.
Noche Buena takes over everything.
Yeah, Noche Buena. You saying that you're chilling? You're chilling at the crib. You're partying at the crib with the folks.
Get away from the family. You got all day Thanksgiving and all day Christmas. You can get away for a little bit.
But
go
this
see,
is the
go
night,
see the friends. Man. Go see your friends. Go see what you got to go see outside.
This is the night you get, at 1 o'clock in the morning, at 11 o'clock, Squiggy McGee's got 2 bags in his hands.
I ain't gonna lie though. I've done a lot of hangover Thanksgivings and man, you're like, man, I probably should not have done that turkey eve as bad as I did.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you this.
You've done it a little too hard on turkey eve.
What? Oh, Thanksgiving Eve?
Yeah.
And then what about when I was young? When I was younger and I still thought I was an athlete. I go crazy Thanksgiving Eve night and then go play a damn freaking football game right before Thanksgiving, thinking, oh, let me work up an appetite for Thanksgiving. Let me go play sports. Man, you know how many times I had to put Epsom salt in that tub just for me to be able to move.
Speaking of Thanksgiving Eve, I gotta go see my dude Manny over at Jensen's Liquor a little later on, getting supplied up for tonight and the weekend ahead, man. Whew. I don't have that many supplies at the house. So Jensen's liquor store are going to be my spot in just a couple of hours. But up next, I want to talk about Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and what's going on with the Heat. That is on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM.
Live
valuable. And Duncan Robinson playing out of his mind isn't helping either. When Tyler Hero comes back from the injury, does Tyler Hero go back into the starting lineup, or is that one of those things? And we know Spo will be very candid with you. Is this one of those things Spo tells Tyler, look, man, we're going to get you back into the game, but Duncan Robinson's earned this spot to start. You've been away for a while. Let's ease you back in.
Nah. And yes, you had me muted, by the way.
I had you muted?
Yeah.
I'll do that too.
You had me muted.
I was jealous, man.
So all the Twitch and YouTubers are going crazy. So they missed a great joke. So
let Vlad speak. Let Vlad speak. Let Vlad speak. I got to do my job, man.
Yeah.
Nah, it's Thanksgiving.
Nah, bro. This is a very interesting question. Question you pointed out. You put out there, bro. He plays so well when he's not there. It's gotta hurt.
And this is the thing about Tyler Hero. Let's be honest. He's not playing to prove that he belongs on this team. He's playing to stay in Miami. He doesn't want to go to Oklahoma City. He doesn't want to go to.
That's great, but
San
when he's not on
Antonio.
when he's not there,
Charlotte. But yeah, the team wins when he doesn't play. He's still the leading scorer. He was still having a great season. But now the sample size keeps getting larger and larger with the playoffs last year, this year so far, and Duncan Robinson playing great. I don't think he's an automatic, we're going to trade him, we're going to get rid of him. The team just plays better. Let's see what we can get. His value is kind of high if he can stay healthy because he was having a really good season. But I do think it is a conversation that Spo might have with him when he returns, more along the lines of, hey, let's ease you back in. Duncan's playing well. We're going to start Duncan. You're still going to get good minutes, but we're going to ease you back in, which is an easier way of saying Duncan's taking your starting spot for now. That's the way I feel about it.
I don't think our boys should be
Spo don't care.
They got to look at it, man. They got to look at it. They got to look at he's better coming off the bench, even if he's being paid $30 million.
You know what? Take the money out of it.
All right, then take the money out of it. Then starting Duncan Robinson and have Tyler come off the bench.
There you go.
And listen, you could be the star coming off the bench, and you still close games.
Yeah, and, it hurts a little bit, but I mean, there was times when Larry Bird was coming off the bench in his heyday because the team played better when he was coming off the bench. He still got his minutes. He still got his points. He didn't have the quote unquote title of starter. That which leads to the question, would you rather score 32 points and be a bench player, or would you rather score 15 points and be a starter? Of course. I'd rather play better. I don't care where I'm coming in.
I'd rather score 32 points. I'm still going to get the money.
Yeah. Tyler Hero's getting paid either way. So is Duncan Robinson.
That's crazy. RV Ritchie said that Dunks plays better defense than Tyler Hero.
He has improved on the defensive end this year. No, when I'm talking about Duncan Robinson.
Yeah. I mean, they still...
Once again, small sample size this year.
They still turnstiles, bro. You can get right by them, but
yeah,
all right.
No, flight.
And also, who's got the better mindset to handle a situation like this? Duncan's been coming off the bench. So I think Duncan, it doesn't matter if you start him or you bench him. I think Duncan's over the last 2-3 years of what he's gone through, I think he's ready for anything that you put out in front of him. Tyler might be a little different. Tyler's gone through a lot of stuff, a lot of crap over the last 2 years, and just as recently as this past summer. So knowing that he wasn't traded, but still hearing the narrative that they play better when you're not in the lineup,
and then it's happening again.
It's happening again.
He's got to feel terrible.
There's just something about it, bro. Like there's something like the proof is in the pudding, man.
I know that's the thing. You can kind of lie. Or even just say, I'm not even saying lying, but say, when they got hot in the playoffs, it was good matchups. It wasn't anything to do with me playing or not playing. But then it happens again this year in pretty much the exact same order. And this time Duncan Robinson's playing even kind of lights out, especially for Duncan Robinson. I think if you're Coach Spo, the better players you have, the more talent you have, the better. Just play the hot hand. Start the hot hand. If Duncan Robinson's playing like he is now, keep starting him. Tyler Hero gets hot, starts coming off the bench. You feel as though maybe he can be injected in the starting lineup and Duncan comes off the bench. You do that. You do what's best for the team and the best thing to win. Now, what if Tyler Hero comes back, gets hurt again, and the team continues to just keep winning? Then that trade deadline starts looming a little larger, I think.
Well, the fact that here's the problem with the trade
of course,
deadline.
now he's damaged goods.
There you go.
Tricky, man. There's no simple situations here.
Because all the players that were rumored to be moved for a certain point guard that's in Milwaukee right now have all played well.
Tougher situation, Vlad. Can we talk about this?
Right? Like, haven't they all played well? Like, do you really want to do you want to let Triple J go now?
I know. Well, that's what I'm going to say. Here's a tougher even situation. Tyler here comes back. You put him back in the starting lineup. Duncan Robinson and Jaime Jaquez Jr. continue to play well, but you start losing games. Now, what do?
I mean, Kevin Love took a backseat, right?
But what do you do if Tyler Hero comes back, continues to play well, but they keep losing?
Well, then I got to look at coach then. As crazy as it is, because I'm going to look at it. If he's playing well, like if he's dropping, 25, 22, that's the thing about Tyler. The fact that he's the only guy other than Jimmy that can get his own basket.
Right, and you got to figure if Tyler Hero comes back and he's scoring 22, and Duncan Robinson and Jaime Jaquez Jr. are playing well, you're going to win a lot of games.
You're going to win a lot of games. But what we're talking about, if you're doing that, but you're still losing to like the Bostons, the Milwaukees of the world, like those teams, the teams that you're contending to get to the Eastern Conference Final or get to the NBA Finals, then yes, then that is cause of alarm. But other than that, I don't know, man. It's kind of just very interesting, the fact that the minute they went on that 6-game winning streak when he got hurt.
I know, I've noticed that. And they've won 9 out of 10.
They won 9 out of 10, and he's been gone for the last 2-3 weeks?
Yeah. It kind of coincides with each other.
I'm just saying, and when they start off well, there's going to be a stretch when they don't play well. They're going to play like 500 basketball. I hope it's not that stretch when he returns, because that's the ebb and flow of an NBA season. Nobody's going to go crazy. They can start off great, but sooner or later, the numbers are going to catch up, and it's going to average out. So you might not, if you start off, who's got the best record right now? Like Minnesota's got a great record right now. What are they, like 11-3?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great 14.
Let's see. Let's look at these schedules real quick. Standings. You got the Celtics are 11-3. That's pretty darn good.
Okay.
And then the Minnesota Timberwolves are 10-3.
Okay, think about the Celtics. They started off 5-0 or 6-0, and everybody thought they were going to go crazy. Then they lost a couple of games.
Yeah, you're going to lose.
They got 5-3 in the last 8. It's going to happen. The Heat are playing well. I don't want when Tyler comes back for them to start, they go on the 14 the 14 games since Tyler returned. They're 7-7. You don't want that, because then that narrative is going to be pointed out more and more that the team plays better when he's not in the lineup.
Never mind that maybe some of those games were against some of the top tier teams. It doesn't matter.
And they've beaten some good
teams. But I mean, every time you beat the Celtics and the Bucks, there's going to be that game where the San Antonio Spurs come in there and beat you, or the Bulls beat you. Like, it's one of those things.
I don't mind that. I mean, you don't like that, but that happens. Like, you were up and then you just it just happens.
Unless you're a 70-win team, you're pretty much you're gonna get some of those. You're gonna get some of those trap games that get you.
Not even a trap game, a game that you should have just put the team away, and
right.
They just kept on for some reason, like roaches in the night. They just still surviving.
Coming,
but it happens like that. I get that, but you don't want that to happen, and that it starts to continuously happen, or happens for 2 to 3 weeks, and it just so it coincides with the return of Hot Tyler.
All we can say is restless times for Tyler Hero. You're out of the lineup. The team is winning. Also, it doesn't help that Duncan Robinson and Jaime Jaquez Jr. are playing well. We'll see how it plays out. Let's just get the win tonight. Let's take care of Max Strus and those pesky Cleveland Cavaliers. That is going to be a 7:30 tip. Up next, going to wrap things up here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM.
1, 2, 3, time to get into Hawk and Crowder's wheelhouse.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Getting things wrapped up here on the Tobin and Leroy show. Wishing you and yours a very happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you eat, you drink, you smoke, you do whatever you do as much as you possibly want to tomorrow and enjoy yourself with family. Tonight is a party night. Just remember, you have to get up tomorrow, watch football, eat food, and spend time with family. Of course, I got to spend time with my family, Vladimir Lewis, on today. Vlad, you got anything exciting planned for tomorrow? What are you going for? What's going down? Anything for you? Got anything that like is a must do tomorrow? Like as far as like a food item, I gotta have sweet potatoes.
I have to have the leg.
The leg? You got a little leg?
Little leg.
Work up your hunger a little bit. I'm probably gonna wake up and buy a Christmas tree because
That's
it's the
crazy.
only day.
That's crazy, bro. Like you're waking up on Thanksgiving Day to get.
No,
Christmas tree.
my waking up is like 10, something like that. Gonna go get the Christmas tree, put that thing in a stand, start hitting some beers. I got 26-degree brewing tonight in Pompano Beach. I might get a couple of those beers to go.
You're gonna have a good time.
I'm gonna be living the life, man. And then, like I said, get the Christmas tree going, start doing some heavy boozing. My dudes, Giuseppe and Nathan, maybe watch the Detroit game with them. Maybe have a vegan Thanksgiving at some point in the afternoon after a couple of beers. I know that's going to be exciting for a lot of people, but yeah. So you're going to be spending it with family. What are you going to be doing?
Yes, sir. Spending it with fam. Shout out to my uncle. Today's his birthday.
Oh, nice.
So, shout out to Uncle Jungle and happy birthday. My other uncle who celebrated his birthday went on a cruise, came back to town. So my uncle coming with my cousin Joe Ski. They're gonna come down to eat at my sister's, enjoy Thanksgiving. This one's important. Dad had a little scare a couple of weeks ago. So I'm saying the fact that he's still gonna be here for Thanksgiving is very, very, very happy. We're very happy for that. And yeah, man, just gonna spend time with the fam, watch the triple header, watch the games, watch the Lions beat the Packers.
Oh yeah.
Watch the boys beat the Commanders in the Commanders, what they used to be. This would be definitely
still a
theme.
That would be an interesting theme. Now that you mention it, I'm not going to get into it and explain it, but yeah, that would be a nice theme.
It would have been the theme for the day.
But a game that people play when they used to be children.
Yes. And probably played a lot during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And Seattle, San Francisco. If you ever saw the last time they played
come on Seattle.
Come on, Gino. If the last time they played on Thanksgiving, it was pretty funny the way the Seahawks cut up that turkey and were talking trash.
Yeah.
And then what's great about those games after
Black Friday's nuts.
Yeah, bro. After you're gonna be put in the itis, you're gonna be put in a food coma tomorrow, and then you wake up and then boom, the minute you wake up, you turn on 560 WQAM, you listen to Hurricanes game day. You want to slide a little bit later on. You slide a 790, then waxy. You listen to a little game day uncensored.
Get your Dolphins fix.
Then noon, you go listen to the kickoff with Joe Z and DBJ from Boston. Listen to the Canes versus the Eagles, and then mosey along. You watch the game on Prime, Dolphins Jets, and then after Dolphins Jets, tune in to 560 WQAM for a little Heat Knicks. Preview starts at 6:30, right after the post game of the Canes and Boston College Eagles. And then you also could slide at 8 p.m., listen to 790 Waxy, and listen to Florida Panthers versus the Winnipeg Jets.
Yep. Just do what you do. Keep us on in the background. Keep it going. Keep it going as you have a great Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Do not take anything for granted. That is one thing, at least I am very proud of, is every Thanksgiving before I eat, I am very thankful for things, and I don't take it for granted. I don't take it for, this is just another year, or these are just the people that happen to be in my life. Please do cherish what you do have, because there is no promise of anything else. And that's one of the things. You always just take that moment. Take that moment.
No, not kissing Len's ass there, RV Richie. Just shouting out because I'm going to be working most of those times. When I'm shouting out something, that means I'm working it.
The man promotes what he does.
If I'm shouting it out, that means I'm working it. That's why I'm shouting it out. I'm not shouting anything out if it wasn't for that.
Well, thankful for you, thankful for Vlad, thankful for all the sports that are going on, thankful for everything happening in this world, thankful for another day on this third rock from the sun.
Thankful to Hawk and Crowder.
They are next.
And thankful to Tobin and Leroy for allowing us to fill in for them today. Marcos, J Fig.
Thankful to Lynn. Thankful to
Oh
everybody.
man, this is gonna be a great Thanksgiving for Marcos, bro. It's the first one with the
baby,
with the tadpole,
with the babe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so be thankful for everything that needs to be thankful for in life and have yourself some fun and enjoy it all. We're going to be back nonstop, basically all day Friday, all weekend, and Monday. Tobin and Leroy will be back. Hawk and Crowder are next. This is 560 WQAM.
Later fools.
Listen to WQAM for Cat Talk.